Their options with star edge rusher Micah Parsons. Parsons entering the final year of his rookie contract, and according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport, there have been no trade talks, but sources say there have at least been some internal discussions about whether to pay Parsons or trade him for a king's ransom. And how about those Philadelphia Eagles? They're your champions. Jalen Hurts is your MVP.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Back in the 2-1-0 on 2-10 day. 2-1-0 day.
2-1-0 day. It sure is, isn't it?
A lot of people are celebrating that.
Well, we're also celebrating one Jason Minix today, who is, what, 85?
Not quite.
Not quite 85, huh?
If I'm 85, what does that make you?
110.
Exactly.
Dude, happy birthday, Minix.
Thank you, sir.
It's
Thank
Jason
you.
Minix's birthday, by the way, everybody.
Thank you.
So show him a little bit of love.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Little bit of love. A little bit of love. The best birthday present I could have had was not watching Philadelphia win another Super Bowl. But again, as their mayor said, it's time to celebrate.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
Yeah.
Let's go, Birds!
Yeah, huh? Birds up.
Yeah. Luckily, the Eagles were much better at everything yesterday, for them anyway, which is good. I took the Eagles, picked them to win in our prime picks, also put some money on them to win yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty happy.
I didn't win a damn square yesterday.
I even won a square yesterday.
I had the Chiefs. I had the under. I had a bad day. My underdog, because the Chiefs didn't show up. I mean, and you look at this overall game, and congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles. That was dominant. I did not expect the Eagles to dominate. Now, last week when we were on Radio Row, I know I said a couple of times, the only way I see Philly winning, I can't even say the words. The only way I see Philly winning is if they do it in a blowout, and nobody expected a blowout. It doesn't matter who we were talking to. Close game favors Kansas City. Either team getting blown out. We just wanted a good Super Bowl, and we got a boring football game on the biggest stage.
Now, see, that's where I disagree with everybody that's saying that.
It was boring.
It was not boring. We saw a Philadelphia Eagles football team play nearly perfect yesterday. Now, that defensive line of Philadelphia is just unbelievably good.
Yep.
They put pressure on Mahomes all day long. They had him looking silly, and you don't see Mahomes looking silly like that ever. But Philly had him looking silly yesterday. He didn't know what to do with the football, and it was a tremendous performance. Then you had Jalen Hurts, who the last 2 ball games, in that NFC Championship game against Washington, he was near perfect. Yesterday, another just amazing performance by the quarterback. And so I enjoy watching that. I enjoy the dominance of what happened yesterday with the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, and Jalen Hurts was 72 rushing yards, 221 passing yards, accounted for 3 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. The reason I say boring, because Kansas City didn't do much. I appreciate a great defensive battle, but it was one-sided. And, you know, at 10-0, I thought, okay, Kansas City, this is where they need to be, because they've been down 10-0 in every damn Super Bowl, right? And then you had the pick 6, and then you had at one point I was actually rooting for the shutout because I wanted to see history made. I thought it would be a three-peat, but then, man, could the Eagles pitch a shutout in the Super Bowl for the first time? Because we've never seen that before. Show me something I've never seen. And you talk about Patrick Mahomes looking silly. For the first time, the pressure seemed to be too big for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chasing the three-peat was too much. Andy Reid, awful with his play calling.
Early on, he was.
I mean, dude, your line isn't blocking anybody. I don't know. Hand the ball off and let's play some football and try to get a first down.
They didn't run the football, I think, for the first two possessions they had it. Now, granted, they were both 3 and outs, but still, yeah, you're not running the football at all. I did not understand that at all. And then, look, you got the fastest guy on the planet playing wide receiver for you, and you don't decide to use him until the second half, till the game's over. That was weird, I thought. And Mahomes was off. I mean, he was just simply off. The guy just the passing early on in that game was just not good, and he was frazzled. I mean, let's face it, the guy looked frazzled, and I think it's the first time I've ever seen him look that way.
Yeah, that might have been the worst game we've ever seen him play as a pro, and quite frankly, I don't remember a game that bad while he was at Texas Tech. It was
not by him anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick was off. The offensive line was off. What's crazy is the stat rolling around today. The Eagles blitzed 0 times yesterday.
0.
Yet they put that kind of pressure on Patrick Mahomes. His line didn't hold up. A couple of years ago, the Super Bowl in Miami, when he was playing with a bunch of backup offensive linemen, it looked worse than that. I mean, what was the Super Bowl? Was it in New York when Denver just got steamrolled by Seattle? With just a blowout game. San Francisco destroying the Chargers years ago. I mean, this goes up in there as one of the worst Super Bowls as far as competitiveness, and you wouldn't have expected that from a team chasing a three-peat. It's not like they tripped in and landed in the Super Bowl. This was a team that all year was playing close game after close game, but figuring out how to win, and they just got steamrolled. I mean, this was Mike Tyson against Peter McNeely.
I just think you've won 2 in a row, and I know they wanted the three-peat and all of that, but I think there's that hungry factor, and I mean that sincerely. And I know Kansas City wanted to win the game. I'm not trying to say they didn't, but Philly was just the hungrier team. They remembered that loss to Kansas City, 3 years ago, and they didn't want to see that happen again, and they came out and played like it. But this team, I tell you what, Dallas Cowboy fans, you better watch out, because that defense is young, and that defensive line is young, and they ain't going nowhere. Those guys were monsters. Those 4 guys on the line, it would not have hurt my feelings had they had 4 MVP trophies for those guys. And they're not going to do that because it's a quarterback award primarily. But and Hurts deserved it. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. He played well enough to deserve it. But those 4 guys on that defensive line, they were just simply spectacular.
When you look at and I appreciate one of the first words Jalen Hurts said in postgame, defense wins championships.
Mm-hmm.
He was great. And although I don't know that he would have been upset if somebody on the defensive side was given MVP. Although who? I mean, that would have been the hard part unless he had multiple MVPs, which we've seen before, co-MVPs from a defense. But for Jalen Hurts, everything that dude has gone through, you think about what happened to him in college, getting to a Super Bowl and losing. A couple years ago, you and I were in Philly with the Army-Navy game, and our driver was like, yeah, we got a good team, but that Jalen Hurts, man,
yeah.
I don't know how much I believe in him. And for him to not only win Super Bowl MVP, but to now be able to call himself a Super Bowl champion.
It's been a very unprecedented journey, and the journey is always the beginning until it's the end. I think means a lot. Quantifying all that work over the years, embracing everything, taking every challenge head on, and taking every joy, moment of achievement and success head on as well, and processing them all as one.
Good for him. Honestly, Jalen Hurts has caught a lot of flack over his short career, and that everybody remembers Tua replacing him.
Yep.
And all of that, and then he just couldn't seem to get it done in Philadelphia, and he finally gets it done. So props to Jalen Hurts. Saquon Barkley, the Chiefs did a pretty good job against Saquon Barkley yesterday, but it didn't matter because Jalen Hurts made up for it, not only with his arm, but with his legs as well.
It was a game, an incredible performance by the Eagles. Overall, how would you couch it? Boring game, okay game. Joe loved it. What did you guys think? What did you think of all of it? The weird score bug that Fox rolled out.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, we're all in the business. We saw that, and did you guys do like a contest with kindergartners to come up with that?
I thought there was something wrong with my TV.
What'd you think of Brady? What'd you think of the halftime show? All of it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it with you. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix, the station at SA Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. More Super Bowl talk coming up here on The Blitz.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
So what if I need a new one?
We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination. AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right, you don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Folks, there's nothing romantic about home repairs, but when your plumbing has lost that love and feeling and your AC is about to achy break your heart, call Quarterman Plumbing, Heat, and AC at 210-651-5899. We'll fix the issue fast at a great price with a servant spirit.
Joel, this is a special Valentine gift from me to you.
Yeah, but why are your arms red?
I got a deal on this plant for your office.
That's poison ivy, Nigel.
It's what?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business.
Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it, and will beat any print quote.
Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs.
No problem.
I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens.
Totally.
I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing.
I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Once again, that's Indeed.com/credit.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale is happening now. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
They're not. It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe. I'm Jason on this Mellow Monday, Mellow Mushroom Monday. Have a $50 gift card for Mellow Mushroom. We'll give away before 6 o'clock. We also have Los Lonely Boys tickets to give away before 6 o'clock. So keep it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Super Bowl's in the books. So many things to dive into.
It's kind of a sad day. Well, the football season's over.
Football season is over. I booked the tee time at Golf Club of Texas for Saturday because football season is over.
It is. It is very sad. But I think it's going to be an interesting offseason. But yesterday was a lot of fun.
Well, yesterday was, and again, there's plenty of Cowboys news to get into today, and we will. Cowboys are making some interesting staff hires. We'll dive into that. And then, of course, it's the Cowboys, so coming off of Super Bowl week on Radio Row, we're hearing all kinds of things about the Cowboys. And again, we'll get into all of that. But focusing on the game last night itself, and if you guys want to comment on the game, did you enjoy the game? Boring game? Love the blowout? Disappointed that the Chiefs were a no-show? How much do you blame the Chiefs, or do you just give all the credit to Philadelphia? Because those boys dominated. And all week, it felt like more Philly fans in New Orleans, from what I could tell when we were walking around.
I would agree.
It felt like more talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. And Philly just said, hold my beer.
Yeah. I tell you what, it was a spectacular game to watch from that standpoint. And Philly just took it to them. I tweeted what was about a minute or two into the game where A.J. Brown got called for offensive pass interference, and I'm like, here we go. Other than that, I thought it was a well-officiated football game.
There was a really bad penalty called on the Chiefs as well. And again, that's where the sky judge will come into play. And honestly, I think the game changed. The game itself changed when DeAndre Hopkins had that wide open drop. When he dropped that would have been for a big first down, a big gain, might have been a way to get Kansas City going. And D-Hop,
of all people,
he did get himself a touchdown.
He did.
Garbage time.
Made some spectacular catches when it really didn't mean anything. But yeah, that was a big drop.
That drop might have changed the entire game. And a game like that truly is 4 or 5 plays. You either make them or you don't. And that one just felt like in the moment, what are you doing? You could see Chris Jones's reaction on the sideline. I mean, you were wide open and would have got a ton of yards, a lot of yak yards after that. Could have changed that play right there. In my mind, that was the difference in the game, because shortly after that, you had the Cooper DeJean pick 6, and at that point, man, game over. It's just what's the final score and how bad is it going to be?
I get where you're coming from, but I think Philadelphia was going to win that game regardless. I just don't see – they stymied. Kansas City had 23 yards at halftime.
Yeah.
23 total yards at halftime. They could do absolutely nothing with the football. And I don't know how in the world, 23 yards. I kept looking at that, that can't be right.
No.
I mean, it was nuts. I don't know. And Mahomes was just early on just not good. I mean, both interceptions he threw were not good. Although the one where the linebacker caught it was a hell of a catch. But it was still a bad throw. It wasn't anywhere close to the receiver. So he was just off. And I think it was because of that Philly defensive line was just making him get rid of the football before he wanted to, and it cost him.
It did, and Patrick Mahomes knows he wasn't good last night, and he takes full responsibility.
I threw 2 interceptions, and they're in. I mean, I threw a pick 6, and I threw a pick that they returned to the 5-yard line, and they scored immediately after. So when you give a team 14 points, especially a really good football team, a Super Bowl football team, then not a lot of good things happen. And so that's why I take ownership in this loss more than probably any loss in my entire career, because I put us in a bad spot.
And he did. He did. Somebody give that Cooper DeJean some credit. You talk about finding a diamond in the rough. The Philadelphia Eagles certainly did that. That guy's been solid all year long. Having said that, it was a hell of a return and a nice pick. But, again, I credit – I mean, all of those guys in the backfield, the defensive backfield for Philadelphia, need to credit those 4 dudes that were harassing Patrick Mahomes all day long.
All the talk of a three-peat, the pressure of dealing with that felt like – it got to Kansas City. Because everybody on that team, Kelsey with the drop early. Juju had that first catch for 11 yards, and then after that, it was just like everybody felt like they were pressing. Mahomes talked about the pressure of the three-peat afterwards.
No, not really. I mean, it's just the pressure of the Super Bowl. There's always pressure, and you have to find ways to deal with that and find ways to respond to that. And we've had good games, and we've had games like this now, and we'll have to find ways to respond to this adversity. And like I said, hopefully it'll motivate these guys, especially myself, to be even better. And it's a short off season. We have a lot of guys come back. We'll have some guys that won't, but it's a short off season, and we have to get better, and so that hopefully we get this opportunity again that we can go out there and capitalize on it.
And look, as long as Patrick Mahomes is around, if Andy Reid decides to stick around, which I hope he does, that Kansas City team is going to be in the mix. What I'm happy about, and I've got a video up on Instagram right now that I talk about Patrick Mahomes and this whole he's the new GOAT, right? Because, if he wins this, he's better than Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. Can we just throw that nonsense away? Can we do it? Even if he wins yesterday, he's still 3 Super Bowl rings behind. So let's just drop that. Now, maybe there will come a day where Mahomes is the GOAT. He passes Tom Brady and he becomes the greatest of all time. But he ain't there yet.
Get off my lawn.
Exactly.
This does quiet the GOAT conversation.
Thank goodness.
But when you look at, and the comparisons were all over the place, at this point in their careers, Patrick Mahomes is well ahead of the pace of Tom Brady. So if he would have won yesterday, does that put him in the GOAT conversation? He's already in the conversation, but he's not there yet, not coming close to passing him. But he is ahead of the pace from where Brady was at this point in their careers with the number of Super Bowls that he's been to. I mean, hell, every year he's been a starter, he's been to the very least AFC Championship game. So when it's all said and done, will he pass him? But right now, I don't care what happens yesterday, he wouldn't have replaced Tom as the GOAT.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're running a 26-mile marathon. You're at mile 13. You got a long way to go before you catch Tom Brady, and you got to keep that up and getting back to the Super Bowl. And I think he will. He's just too damn good not to. But and Andy Reid's too good of a coach not to. And they'll rebuild that team, and they'll figure it out. And he's going to be in the mix. But it's a long way to go yet. But I think Patrick Mahomes is probably going to play well into his 30s. And so, yeah, he'll have an opportunity. All I'm saying is that all I heard all weekend before this, Brady wins 3 in a row. He's the man. He's the GOAT. He passes Tom Brady. Shut up already.
Here we go.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. And just go watch my video on Instagram.
Yeah,
and you can comment there.
Go watch and comment. Because, again, there are people of a certain age that will never give LeBron credit when you've got Michael Jordan, right?
Well, he's not even close to Jordan. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Please.
And I'm in that boat.
Not even close.
I mean, Mahomes, the last 5 years, has been the best in the NFL. He's the best quarterback of this generation.
No doubt.
And when you look at pacing, what Patrick Mahomes has done comparing to Tom Brady, he's still in the GOAT conversation, but he hasn't passed him yet. Hell, I still think, Joe Montana, there's other quarterbacks that, if you were starting to ranking all-time greats, but that's what's not fair to a guy that's in the middle of the race. I mean, Mahomes isn't near done, and the fact that he's already knocked some of these guys off when you talk about GOAT conversations is pretty impressive with what he's done. But you look at Andy Reid. How long is Andy Reid going to continue coaching? I mean, Andy was asked last night, moving forward, I mean, this team won't be the same. There's lots of questions about Travis Kelce. How do you move forward if you're Andy Reid?
We've got a great nucleus of players, and so like we've done before, we work on the things that we're not doing well at, whether it's coach, as a coach or a player, and we all take responsibility for it. And you listen to Pat, you listen to these other guys. That's how they are. They're stand-up guys with it. The coaches are stand-up about it. They did a better job than what we did, and that starts with me. And it's hard to face. It's hard to look at because all the time you spend, but you do that, and then you get better. That's what you do.
I don't think Reed's going anywhere. Had they won that game yesterday, perhaps. He calls it a day and he rides off into the sunset. But the way they lost, I think Andy Reid will be back next year.
You wonder if a guy like Travis Kelce will call it a career after a loss like that. Again, had they won, you were all ready for the proposal.
Yeah.
You were,
Taylor Swift got booed.
Taylor Swift got booed.
Holy cow.
But you wonder, while it feels like he might have an empty tank, does he want to go out like that, or does that motivate him to come back stronger? But he's got so many other things that he's working on, like, I don't know, following Taylor around the world, doing her things, the podcast, and is the podcast better when he's an active player, not an active player? Jason Kelce watched his former team go win a Super Bowl. That had to be very conflicting for him. But at the same time, you wonder for Travis, is that how he wants to go out, or does he try to run it back?
Well, I just wonder, do the Chiefs want him back? And I mean that sincerely, and nothing against him. He's going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. But we've seen this year that Travis Kelce doesn't look like Travis Kelce anymore. I'm not sure the Chiefs want him back. And I think they might encourage him to ride off into the sunset. Or you at the very least, if you bring him back, you got to have another tight end that can actually play. I mean, Kelce had his moments, but he certainly looked old this year.
Had his moments against, what was it, Houston?
Yeah, he did.
He played well
Houston's
against Pittsburgh on Christmas, and outside of that, he didn't have that kind of year. On YouTube, David Messia says, I hope next year's game is earlier than this year and a better halftime show. It's still going to kick off at 5:30, dude.
Always.
A better halftime show, it's mixed. Every year the halftime show is going to get criticized and celebrated. If you're criticizing it, I'm going to guess you're not the demo. I didn't get it. I don't know enough of Kendrick Lamar's music. There were parts of it that I thought were fantastic. Parts of it I just didn't know what was going on. Seemed like there was a lot of inside. Like if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you go, what was that?
Samuel L. Jackson was great.
He was great.
He was great.
Uncle Sam.
Yes, he was good.
But for the most part, that's what you're going to get. You're not in the demo anymore.
No,
you're not. I'm not.
I'm not. I'm certainly not. And so I didn't watch a lot of it. I'll be totally honest with you. I didn't watch a lot of the halftime show. My wife did. She seemed to enjoy it, but I was eating and making another cocktail.
Yeah, there was.
That's what I was doing.
There were parts of it, but I mean, just knowing what we heard Thursday from the press conference when he was there at the convention center near Radio Row, and like Erica and R.J. Ochoa had gone to the press conference. I don't know the feud between him and Drake, except there is one.
Yeah, obviously.
There were lots of little insights that I was told to look for by my kid, like having Serena out there. That was a couple of middle fingers to Drake. Now, there was a lot of that, right? If you know, and you thought it was great. If you didn't, you just want to bitch about something, that's what Facebook is for. That's kind of how I felt about you almost knew it was going to happen as soon as they announced it was Kendrick Lamar.
Well, you had to take a shot at Drake, right? They got a very public feud going on. You got to take a shot at him, and that whole song is all about Drake, right? The all about us or not about us. What's it called?
Yeah.
Something about
Not Like Us.
It's something about us.
Yes.
5-time Grammy winning Not Like Us.
Well, that's great.
The game
I'm
over
happy
at the end. I thought that, there were some parts of it that I thought was really, really well done from a production standpoint.
I don't know that much about him. I thought Samuel L. Jackson was good, so I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Well, yeah.
If it was me, I didn't really enjoy it, but I don't know. I'm not the person they were looking for.
But I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it.
I'm too old for the demo.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Although in reality,
it was a hell of a production, though, I'll tell you that.
If it is the 25-54 demo that they were targeting, I'm 52 today. I still have 2 years in the demo, but I feel like maybe they were going for the 18-34, 18-40.
For you, Minix, physically you're 52. Mentally, you're about 93.
93 mentally?
So,
I'm not. No, that's you.
I'm just saying.
I'm more 27, 28.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Now, after the week in New Orleans, my liver's now 93.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I was drinking like I was 21.
Yeah, and what's funny about that is I wanted to take it easy yesterday. It's a Super Bowl, for goodness sake. So
dude,
I will be on the wagon for a couple of
How was
days.
your Saturday night?
Very chill. Very chill Saturday night.
So we landed at 4-ish.
Yeah.
My wife says, "Are we doing anything tonight?" She's been home all week.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "No, I'm tired. I just go to dinner and come home." Apparently, I fell asleep in my recliner about 8:30.
I'm telling you.
That never happens.
I was asleep early Saturday, too. Not quite that early, but I was asleep early. So it was very chill Saturday night. No doubt.
Sunday was good.
Sunday was good. A lot of fun.
Ate well. Drank a lot.
Now we get to look forward to the offseason.
Yeah, and
which is always fun.
Cowboys making some news, as they always do. Some interesting hires. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, because of course you do. The best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
South Texas. Get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
Wow! Most cars and pickup trucks can have a ceramic film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint starting at just $199. That's an incredible price. If you shop around, you'll find that competitors charge hundreds of dollars more. Plus, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Mother's Window Tint offers up to 60 different film options to fit all price ranges. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has been known as the home of the tint and alarm special. If you're looking to enhance your vehicle security to the highest level, visit Mother's Window Tint today, where security systems start at just $3.99. Call us at 210-496-3454. That's 210-496-3454. Or visit us online at motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mothers and save!
Do you ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, hot takes, picture-perfect families, and yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent 45 minutes focused on how you are doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs, and just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation on your overall well-being. Take that first step today. Go to Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for Mind Time. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. as the Eagles celebrate a Super Bowl championship.
Wow. You going to the parade?
No.
No?
No. Nor would I.
Well, you should.
Well, I mean,
the NFC East, Minix, you ought to be happy.
Why?
NFC East.
No.
Well, you ought to support your division.
No.
No?
No.
That's what I thought.
I don't know where you come up with some of the things that you think, but
you told Aggie fans to support Texas because they're in the SEC.
That's different.
That's what you said.
That's different. Because every conference is a little bit different. And again, had the Texans, I'll root for all things Texas. So if the Texans somehow tripped in, I'd root for Houston, right? Unless, of course, it was the all-Texas Super Bowl that we've been chasing since the Oiler days, and that's never happened. It doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. But as the Eagles celebrate, you just hope it pisses Jerry off enough. I mean, it's one thing to see Washington and Philadelphia play in the NFC Championship game. Then you see the Eagles win another Super Bowl. And you think about the Eagles turn that Carson Wentz, who is the backup at Kansas City, and the picks that they got in that trade turned into Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Jalen Carter, and Cooper DeJean.
All 4 winners. Boom.
You think about the Cowboys got 3 Super Bowls back in the day by trading away a Herschel Walker to Minnesota.
Yep.
So over the weekend, Ian Rappaport reports there's been internal discussions about trading away Micah Parsons. And somewhere, Joe Reinaga went, see, I've been saying that for weeks.
I've been saying that for weeks. I mean, it just makes sense. What I love about Cowboy fans, Texan fans, name it fans, doesn't matter. You fall in love with a player, and you say, that guy's got to stay no matter what. R.J. Ochoa, our good buddy R.J. Ochoa. Oh, the Cowboys are doing stupid things again. This would be the smartest thing they could do at this point in time, in my opinion, because if you get a haul, I'm not saying trade Micah for a bag of chips.
Okay.
I'm saying it would have to be something legit. But if you could pull off a trade, number one, you don't have to pay that big contract. And number two, you're going to get some picks. And if you turn them into Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Jalen Carter, and Cooper DeJean, guess what? The Dallas Cowboys are going to be playing for a Super Bowl.
You have to trust the Cowboys front office with the haul that they would get for a Micah Parsons to make all the right picks. And for the most part, Will McClay and the Cowboys front office have done a really good job in the draft. And they have to nail this draft. They have to. Last year's draft, although we'll see. I mean, there's a couple that look like they could turn into something, but there's a couple of we'll sees. 2 years ago is the same thing. They can't have an okay draft this year. The Cowboys have to hit on this draft. If they do trade Micah Parsons, and I don't think that they will. I don't, and nor do I want them to be honest. But if they did, they better get a ridiculous haul in return. And it's one thing for Ian Rappaport to report they've had internal discussions. They haven't called, by all accounts, any team to say, would you be interested?
No.
And so, I mean, I imagine every boss, every front office has a discussion. Well, what if? And they're having meetings and they're having discussions. I think that happens. The fact that gets out is the bad part. You know, Luka just got traded from Dallas, not by Jerry, but in a move that a lot of Mavs fans like. Is Jerry running our team now? And nobody knew about it until it was all said and done. And that's how this would have to play out.
Look, I think what Jerry did was, or somebody called Ian Rappaport or Tom Pelissaro, one of the two, and said, hey, we've been talking about this. Boom, they get it out there, and now you got every other GM in the league thinking about it. Because if that's the case, you got a Myles Garrett who wants to be traded and a Micah Parsons who might be available as well, two of the premier pass rushers in the NFL. And if you're a GM of another team, you in need of a pass rusher, then, boy, I got a couple of options. Let's call Jerry and see exactly what he's talking about. That's exactly what they're doing. And look, I'm good with that. Just throw it out there. At least offer him up, see what you would get, and then you can make the decision and go from there. But I just think, look, the quickest way for the Cowboys to get back, and I know we disagree on Micah Parsons, we disagree on the time frame we're looking at the Cowboys to get back to prominence. I don't think it's going to happen for a few years. You think it could happen next year. That's Cowboy fan optimism.
I think it's. I mean, you're looking at it from if they get Micah's deal done before the start of free agency, and they actually have a true free agency period where they go do stuff. They don't have to go shopping on day one for high price guys, but they can bring in solid guys from outside and not we're hoping our draft and development department is going to work. They can be back up there. This was a weird year with a whole bunch of injuries, coming off a 3 straight 12-win team, 12 wins in a season. So I don't know that they're that far away. Hell, they've got the quarterback and a receiver. They got one of the best defensive players. They need a couple of pieces, and they could be right back in the mix.
Well, they need a lot more than just a couple of pieces because there's still a lot of question marks. Trayvon Diggs, you may lose him. You have no idea whether that guy's coming back. You're still in need of linebacker help. You're hoping that Sam Williams and Overshown come back and can play. They're young, and I would bet that would probably happen. But are they injury prone? Are they going to get hurt again? And all of these questions, and the Cowboys have got to think about this. They need another wide receiver. You got to find somebody. I don't think Jonathan Mingo is the answer. Then you've already wasted a 4th-round draft pick this year on him. So the Cowboys offensive line help. You don't know what's going to happen with Zach Martin. You have no clue. How about Terrence Steele? My God, you got to replace that dude at some point in time. And so they've got a lot of work to do. I just don't think a couple of pieces are going to get the job done. I think this team has a lot of work and a lot of holes to fill, and the fastest way to do that would be to trade a guy like Micah Parsons. As much as that would hurt Cowboy fans' feelings, it would be the smart business thing to do if the offer is legit.
Well, and again, if they're getting a king's ransom in return, you have to take those calls. If they do a trade like the Mavericks did,
well,
then that would not be good.
No,
Debo wants out. You can't make a trade and send Micah to San Francisco for Debo.
Of course not.
That's not going to work. So, and you've got to have picks, and what are you going to do with those picks? But they need players right now. And the fact that they do have a high-priced quarterback and a high-priced wide receiver, they are in win now, and I think that is part of why I think they're closer than you think, because they already have 2 or 3 of the main pieces all ready to go. They've got some offensive linemen that just finished their rookie year. They got better as the season went on, so what kind of jump do they make in year 2? And now they're putting together their coaching staff under Brian Schottenheimer with some interesting hires. First, they go get Junior Adams, who is the wide receiver coach out of Oregon. Now, again, unless you're way into the weeds on this stuff, you go, okay. I'll go with, I don't know, Cooper Kupp called him the best wide receiver coach there is. A lot of accolades for this guy. I have no idea. But I know that seemed like the Cowboys receivers weren't very good last year in running routes. Brian Schottenheimer clearly didn't want to retain the wide receiver coach. They went out and they got a guy that is highly regarded. And now they've hired, or in the process of hiring, Ken Dorsey. I don't know what role he's going to play. He was actually interviewing at one point for the offensive coordinator job, and he didn't get that. They haven't filled quarterback coach yet, so maybe he's the QB coach. Maybe he's a consultant similar to what Schottenheimer was when he first came in. But that's an interesting hire for an undefined role for a guy that did interview to be your OC, didn't get that job, but you still want him on your staff for some reason.
I have no idea why. I really don't. I mean, that one baffles me. Nobody wanted Ken Dorsey on this staff when he was looking at the offensive coordinator position because of the resume that he brings with him. I'm not excited about that. Their offensive line coach, I think, is he comes highly touted. Yep. Again, I'm with you. I have no clue. He either is or he's not, and how much difference does an offensive line coach make? I'm sure a lot for the offensive linemen, and especially for those young guys. But I don't know. He knows Cooper Beebe. I mean, that he coached Cooper Beebe. That's all we know about him, and that's it. And I think Cooper Beebe is the one guy I'm really not worried about. Tyler Guyton, I'm not sure about that guy. He showed me absolutely nothing this year. Now, it was his rookie year, and that's fine. You give him another year or two. But I just don't – I just think there are a lot of holes to fill. And you're talking about adding a coaching staff. I don't know. Doesn't excite me. When I see some players added that can help those coaches, I don't give a damn what those coaches say or how they teach. If you don't have the players out there to put it in place, then they're just wasting their time.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They're getting paid. It's their job.
Well, sure.
But I will say this. When you look at, and I'm with you, you're making a lot of changes to a staff. Now, when you look at who was there, and Brian Schottenheimer worked with a lot of these guys. They were coworkers. And Brian Schottenheimer is not retaining them. That I find fascinating because there were clear issues. I'll go back to wide receivers when Troy Aikman went on that big old rant about the crappy routes that the wide receivers were running. And that Schottenheimer did not keep that wide receiver coach, and he's bringing in somebody else who's considered one of the best in the game. Cool. Offensive line had some issues at time. Now, was it injuries? Was it this, that? I don't know. But they didn't keep the offensive line coach. They're bringing in somebody else. All those guys, with the exception of a couple, and I think they were on the defensive side that went somewhere else before that while the Cowboys were trying to figure out what they were going to do. But that offensive staff, a lot, from what I can tell, are still available. I don't know. Were they holding out? Well, when Mike gets a job, I'll move to New Orleans. Oh, wait. Hey, Kellen, remember we were buddies when you take that job? But I do find it interesting that Schottenheimer in that building did not retain a lot of the offensive coaches, even though continuity was the big word that we kept hearing, and throw that in air quotes if you want. I find that part very fascinating from a internal, let's hire Schotty for the continuity, but we're replacing a lot of the position coaches.
Maybe it's just people he's more comfortable with. Absolutely. Is it? And I'm sure they're all good coaches. I'm going to sit here and say I wouldn't know one way or another. They all come highly recommended. Yeah. But who doesn't? I mean, you hire anybody at a new job. Oh, this guy's highly recommended. He's great. Well, we hired the best of the best with this guy.
We didn't hear that about Ken Dorsey when he was interviewing for OC.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, and I don't know what Ken Dorsey's going to do. And the Cowboys aren't saying. There's no reports on that. And I just think, I don't know, maybe he likes Jerry or Jerry likes him, or I don't know what the case may be. Again, it's going to be an interesting offseason for the Cowboys because not only do they have holes to fill, Jason, they've got a lot of free agents they're going to have to deal with and decide whether they're going to pay them or let them walk. Last year, they let most of them walk, and we saw what happened. It just young guys making young mistakes, and the only thing you can hope for, which doesn't give me a lot of optimism moving forward, is did they get better? Well, we hope so, but we won't know until we see them on the field.
Yeah, hope is not a good plan. And I'm just seeing this come across on Twitter a couple of seconds ago. Cowboys are expected to hire UTEP defensive coordinator J.J. Clark as a defensive assistant.
All right.
Again, I don't know what role, but
UTEP, huh?
All
right.
I mean, again, bringing in all kinds of new people when let's have continuity.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dak likes Schotty.
Yeah, he liked Mike and he liked Kellen.
Uh-huh.
And Kellen apparently is on his way to New Orleans.
That's what it sounds like.
Although Nick Sirianni wants to keep him. In fact, post-game, you're winning the Super Bowl. Microphone is in front of you. You haven't had time to process anything.
Hey, Kellen, let's run this. Let's run this back, Kellen. Let's run this back.
Nick spoiled the surprise. Kellen Moore is the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Well, what was it? The GM, not the GM, the owner. The owner of the team says, well, he's probably gone. We're just going to have to wish him well. I don't know why Kellen Moore wants the New Orleans job other than it's one of 32.
Yep.
And he'll get a big raise, and that's all good. But he's got a lot of work to do with the New Orleans Saints and not much weaponry to do it with.
No, you talk about a team in cap hell, and I don't know. But again, first-time head coaching job, probably gets a 4 or 5 year contract, guaranteed $20 million. That changes your life.
Sure it does.
And, you know, just point to Bobby Slowick. Last year, when I don't know, man, I want to run it back with C.J. Stroud. Now you're fired, and nobody wants you. You got to strike while the iron is hot.
Well, Ben Johnson gamble paid off.
Yep.
But it doesn't happen to everybody. So Kellen Moore, take that job, and we'll see what he can do with it. Obviously, he's a Super Bowl champion now, so he's always going to have that on his resume. And he can go from there.
Absolutely. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. As the Eagles win the Super Bowl, old Nick Foles was trolling Tom Brady. We'll explain coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
What is GMTVCC? It's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda, or 1988 Fox Body Mustang, or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Folks, there's nothing romantic about home repairs, but when your plumbing has lost that love and feeling and your AC is about to achy break your heart, call Quarterman Plumbing, Heat, and AC at 210-651-5899. We'll fix the issue fast at a great price with a servant spirit.
Joel, this is a special Valentine gift from me to you.
Yeah, but why are your arms red?
I got a deal on this plant for your office.
That's poison ivy, Nigel.
It's what?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study.
Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic Motor Oil and get a $15 gift card after rebate, plus 2 times points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs return to action tonight. They continue their rodeo road trip. They'll do that in Washington, D.C. against the Wizards. Spurs coming off consecutive last-second losses, first to the Hornets, then to the Magic. Tip-off from Washington tonight, set for 6 o'clock. Tiger Woods pulling out of this week's Genesis Invitational. He was scheduled to make his debut there, but he says he doesn't feel quite ready to return to competitive golf.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on at YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, back from New Orleans.
Wow, what a great week it was. I'm going to tell you, a lot of fun. And work was okay, too. No, it was good. I thought it was a good week. The folks that we had and we were able to visit with and chat with, a lot of fun.
Work hard, play hard.
That's right.
Work hard, play hard. And then play.
And then play.
And then play. The Friday night concert, Madden Bowl with, I forgot the first guy.
Shabuzi.
No, the guy before that.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Then Shabuzi, Jelly Roll, and Chris Stapleton. And what was very cool is this little theater, which was similar to like Aztec or Majestic. Mm-hmm. In the balcony, in between sets, Trombone Shorty was playing.
That was cool.
So that was awesome. There was no downtime. And for the most part, you go to a Super Bowl party like that, everything is free, right? Those tickets are stupid expensive. We're fortunate to tag along. And then it's all the free alcohol you want, so you can only imagine what that's like.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. Shabuzi has one song.
What? It was great. It's a great song.
It's a great song. Love that song. The rest of his set sucked. He was underwhelming.
He was, but that last song, dude, I've been listening to that song since we got back.
Me too.
It's fantastic. Was it Tipsy or something?
Everybody in the bar get tipsy or whatever.
It's a great song.
It's
a great song.
And look, he jumped in the crowd. He was, I don't know, in the crowd, he was like 3 people from me. In that song, I think he took about 12 minutes to do that one song. It was the same thing over and over and over again. But that was the only song that he has. I mean, the rest of us, I was so excited to see that dude. And, Jelly Roll, phenomenal.
Oh, my gosh. He was great. He was great.
Jelly Roll did a little Green Day, did a little Garth Brooks. His version of Friends in Low Places might have been the best that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Did a little John Denver with the, what's the name of that song? They played it yesterday. It was on one of the commercials, the Rocket commercial. Take me home, country road. Yeah. That one.
Jelly Roll was great. Stapleton was Stapleton.
Yeah.
And then
not a huge fan of Stapleton.
Yeah.
I don't mean that. I mean, he's okay.
He's more than okay. He's just not your cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't know. Not something I'm going to listen to on the back porch with whiskey and a cigar.
Oh, that's what his music is for.
Well.
And then Ryan Eagle hit Bourbon Street.
Oh, my gosh.
Ryan Eagle hit Bourbon Street and had a great time.
No,
bitching the whole time, but had a great time.
Dude, I'm telling you. Well, look, Bourbon Street is Bourbon Street, but I mean, it's like, how can I say this without getting fired?
Careful.
New Orleans is still everything that I thought it is and will always be that way.
You know,
maybe that's the charm of the city. I don't know.
It didn't smell like piss and puke. I mean, they power wash the streets 3 times a day during Super Bowl week.
I'm sure.
Security was next level. The idea of walking down Bourbon Street, every cross street, there were about 10 cops and soldiers on either side with barricades, and they're holding machine guns, and you felt safe, but they were very visible with their security.
Very.
When instead of, it's around, you just don't see them, they were very visible.
Yeah.
And at Canal, when you got by the memorial, that was powerful, but there was nobody driving down that street with wasn't a tank. I'm not sure what that was. It looked bigger than most fire trucks, but that was blocking the entrance from Canal onto Bourbon, where the attack took place, where that guy originally drove down, going around a police car that was there. But Bourbon was a lot of fun, and Joe had fun on Bourbon. Don't let him lie to you. Trust me.
Well, sure.
He doesn't remember, but he had a great time on Bourbon.
I just go back to Shabuzi.
Yeah.
Everybody in the bar was a little tipsy.
Yeah. We ran into a former Eagle quarterback.
We did.
Who gave me the biggest hug and then called me the wrong name.
Yeah.
And then totally blew off Joe.
Yeah,
it was like, hey, what's up? Hey, Chris. I'm not Chris. Yeah, you look like Chris. Okay. It was funny.
He was embarrassed after that.
No, he wasn't feeling anything like the rest of us.
He was not.
Good times.
It was good times. I mean, I've been telling that Jelly Roll story since I got back. Anybody that'll listen. Met Jelly Roll in the bathroom.
You met Jelly Roll in the bathroom.
Sure did, yeah.
You mean how you cornered Jelly Roll in the bathroom?
Yeah, well, didn't do that, but I don't know. It's interesting because when you turn around and you see a guy, it's kind of like me turning around and saying, "Hey, you're Jason."
Yeah.
It's "Hey, you're Jelly Roll."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a very difficult guy to not recognize.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with all the tattoos, and he's lost some weight, but he's still a pretty big dude.
Yep.
So
big dude.
That's my story of the trip.
I mean, we were standing in line to get drinks with Fred Warner, and we had that.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
But he's no Jelly Roll.
He's no exactly.
I mean, there was that.
And then Kurt Warner was standing right over there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He was waiting. It's funny because we were waiting. Erica was in the restroom. Obviously, the ladies are taking a little bit longer than the guys, and so all these dudes, and it was Kurt Warner, and I'm trying to remember who all was sitting there waiting for ladies to come out of the room. We're all sitting there, kind of in that same little hallway, just waiting.
Just that's all
Small
you can
talk.
do. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, just wait.
That's
Because
it.
if you go somewhere else, you're going to get lost. It's gone forever.
Well, it was interesting. It was interesting. A lot of people, and then it got crazier, obviously, with what you saw yesterday. The people that we knew that were there were talking about security and how difficult and intrusive that was to get in there yesterday. Obviously, with the president there, and it would have been anyway, but it amped up with Trump being there. So, probably the safest place on the planet yesterday. Honestly.
Except for the Chiefs' offensive line, man. Those guys were victimized.
They needed some
all
Secret
day.
Service.
Absolutely. Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, to opinions. Never enough time.
As you think about the Super Bowl yesterday, Nick Foles, Super Bowl 52, beat the Patriots, beat Tom. Nick Foles tweets out last night, "It's really cool that Tom Brady got to be there for the Eagles' 2 Super Bowl wins. He might be a good luck charm."
Could be.
Have a great night.
He could be. Well, you know, Brady, what was it, the NFC Championship game they were doing, was talking about Nick Foles and how he was embarrassed, or not embarrassed, jealous, I think was the word he used. So they got a little Twitter feud going on. That's good. It's good to see. Hey, Foles has got that.
He does. For the rest of his life, Nick Foles has that. Kind of funny.
I think it's hilarious.
So, Coy Detmer posted a photo. He's head coach down at Pleasanton now. He climbed a light pole out there just wearing his old Eagles jersey just to, be with the city of Philadelphia.
Well, good for him.
Yeah. Some golf news.
They don't grease the poles in Pleasanton?
No, he was able to climb that one.
Wow. I don't know, the ones in Pleasanton, he might have gotten a splinter or two.
He was in jeans and his jersey.
Those splinters are rough.
Tiger Woods put out a tweet today saying that while he planned to tee it up this week, he's just not ready. Did his best to prepare, knowing it's what my mom would have wanted, but I'm still processing her loss. So he is pulled out of the Genesis.
Well, and that's part of it, obviously, and it's tough to get over. He and his mom were close, but I just don't think Tiger's physically able to perform on the level that Tiger wants to perform on. I mean, he can play in his league that they're doing, with the screens, but to get out on a golf course, especially out there in that Genesis, that's no easy track. So,
speaking of golf, Joe's a big fan of the Live.
Well, they're making some good changes. They're doing away with shorts.
And white belts.
That's important. No, the white belts can stay.
Shorts and white belts are out.
But the shorts are going away. They're not going to let them wear that anymore.
White belts soon to come.
Look, they're about to merge. It's happening. Moynihan, the PGA Tour commissioner, has already said, and I think Trump's even involved in that somehow too, where there will eventually merge. I'm convinced of it. And this is just the U.S. Open is giving Live Tour players that aren't already qualified for that tournament an opportunity to qualify for that tournament. They had a little pathway to get that done. So,
are you a fan of that?
Not really. No, I'm not. But the U.S. Open's different than everything else. The U.S. Open it's open to anybody. If you wanted to try to qualify for the U.S. Open, you could do it. If Pledge wanted to, he could do it. I mean, that's the way the U.S. Open is. So it's really open to everybody. You have to qualify, obviously, and none of us are good enough to do that. But
that's what Tony Romo's always close to making.
Exactly right. So anybody can do that. Where I'll be a little upset is if they start letting these jokers into the Masters.
Jokers.
Yeah. PGA Tour, the players.
Uh-huh.
And
but the U.S.
British
Open, you're fine.
Well, because it's different.
Okay.
Yeah, the Masters especially. That one really pissed me off.
I'm telling you.
Imagine one of those livers coming in there wearing shorts. Trying to flip-flop his way into that place.
Flip-flop?
Yeah.
So you think you can qualify for the U.S. Open?
No, I didn't say that. But if I wanted to try, I certainly could.
I mean, we were talking to Paige Bronick the other day. She gives golf lessons.
Sure. I'm not sure how much I would learn.
I want to see you wearing pants on Saturday.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure what I would learn.
Why do you want to see Joe in pants? I don't
Instead of shorts.
Yeah. He's always constantly complaining about the damn shorts of the livers. Yet this guy shows up every week golf in shorts.
I'm not a professional golfer.
What makes you think that he was invited to golf with me this week?
Wait a minute, y'all are playing golf this week? Wait, what?
I invited you, Pledge.
Oh, I thought me and Joe were finally, he's been talking a lot of noise. I thought I was finally going to put him in his place, and that's what this was about.
Oh, you were going to put him in his place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It will happen at some point in time, and I probably will be wearing shorts and a white belt.
He's going to have some excuse not to be able to play this Saturday.
And a white belt.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It'll be something that you go, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
You've got to go do that instead of go play golf?
Yeah.
Wine tasting.
No, something that I
Book club.
think is a complete waste of time.
You can't say that.
It's a complete waste of time.
You can't say that.
And I'm not sure why.
You can't say that.
These damn kids today.
Gender reveal?
Yes.
My daughter is having a gender reveal.
With air quotes. You just went air quotes.
Dude.
What are you, Stephen Jones?
Well, yes.
This drought that people say we're in terms of a championship game or a Super Bowl.
I told her, unless she's blowing that smoke out of her behind.
Whoa.
Have you seen that one? Dude, that's the best gender reveal I've ever seen. There was a video
You don't want to see that from your daughter?
Well, I've heard it. I mean, it's not like.
Wow.
Might as well be a little blue or pink smoke coming out of that thing.
You're talking about Casey farting on air?
Yes.
And now you're giving her crap about having a gender reveal on a Saturday when you could go play golf with the boys?
I know a lot of y'all like that. What the hell is the point? Can't you just tell me, hey, we found out I'm having a girl.
It's a
hey,
party.
We found out we're having a boy. Congratulations. That's awesome. What do I need to wait? Well, let's wait and see if it's pink or blue. Woo-wee! Like, man. And it's 11:30. I can't even be sufficiently lubricated yet. Holy cow.
Wow. I trust Casey's at work right now. She's not listening.
I have no idea. And if she wasn't, she's probably, I don't know if she's listening or not. Somebody will let her know.
That's
Casey knows how I feel about it. It's a gender reveal.
Yeah? Yet you're still required to go.
I will show up as the good father that I am.
Well, let's be honest. You're only going because your wife is making you.
Well, if there was some sort of emergency that I could find to make up.
I need an emergency fourth, Joe. You got to come.
Exactly. Damn it. I'll be there.
The golf course?
No, I'm very proud. My daughter be her second child.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be there. Would y'all stop having gender reveals? Can that just go out of style? I mean, honestly.
You kids get off my lawn!
Just let that go out of style. A gender reveal. I mean, unbelievable.
So what happens at a gender reveal?
However they choose to do it, whether it's blowing out of their behinds or coming from a gun or, a pop gun, the little pop gun firecracker thing.
Uh-huh.
So either pink ribbon or blue ribbon fly out of that thing. You go, oh, it's a boy.
Is that what you do?
See y'all, everybody. I got to go.
See, now I think somebody's thinking ahead. Have some pink shirts all made and say it's a girl with names on it, or if a boy, blue shirts. Get those shirts made at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Need T-shirts screen printed for any kind of occasion, like Ryan Eagle's gender reveal this weekend. Sam will get you taken care of. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your company logo, your group logo on any kind of a shirt, dress shirt, polo shirt, half-zip jacket, hoodie, it doesn't matter. Sam will get you taken care of. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Sammy has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices, and Sam has all the big name brands like Under Armour, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her driving, just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hour.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94-1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
The comments about gender reveals are comical on the YouTube page. Go read them. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Two franchises in the NBA made a big trade, and the reactions are, as you might imagine. Tonight, Luka is expected to make his Laker debut. He hadn't played since Christmas when he strained a calf. The Lakers tonight, you see photos from Crypto where there are yellow 77 T-shirts on every chair tonight. They are celebrating the arrival of Luka.
As they should.
The Mavericks welcomed in Anthony Davis, who promptly got hurt.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that just got to, I mean, as a Mavericks fan, that probably just piss you off even more, right? The guy had like 24 points, though, right, in the first half. He was on fire. He was playing well, and then he got hurt. But that's his problem. That's been his issue. Is he's a great player, obviously, but, man, he cannot manage to stay healthy. And that's the problem.
It's a big problem, and it has been a problem. And, again, Anthony Davis coming to most teams would be celebrated. The Mavericks had a protest outside. Guys spending money on signs to fire Nico, sell the team. And I'm thinking, Maverick fans and Cowboy fans, we've never protested Jerry that way. But Jerry has never traded away a player like Luka, right? The idea that in the comments from the owner about work ethic and if you can't work like LeBron or Kobe or you can't be here, I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, you look at the Mavericks, have a lot of great players through their history, like every team has. And then you get Dirk, and then you have Luka. San Antonio, we're so spoiled and fortunate, a lot of great players. But when you get a generational talent, and in San Antonio, we had David, we had Tim, and now we have Wemby, right? That doesn't happen very often. The Mavericks have had two generational players, and they just traded one at 25 years old. What are you doing?
Yeah, you look at us. We're frustrated, and we're not even Maverick fans. Can you imagine you've been a lifelong Maverick fan, and I'd protest too. I mean, it just makes absolute no sense whatsoever to do that, and mismanagement, to say the least. And if Luka goes out tonight and just has a hell of a night, he and LeBron, and just it's even further going to piss you off because I think Davis is out for a significant time,
at least a month.
Yeah,
and so you look at the Mavericks right now in the 8th seed in the West. They don't have Luke anymore. Now they're not going to have Anthony Davis for a while. And selfishly, can the Spurs take advantage of it? And they've had, 2 heartbreaking losses since the arrival of De'Aaron Fox and 1 1-point win. Rodeo Road Trip does continue tonight. And granted, outside of Fox's first game where we were at Drago's in New Orleans having dinner, and the game was on until they turned it off to put on the Pelicans game. So I've only seen a half of what the Spurs look like with De'Aaron Fox. But when you lose a couple of tight games the way they've lost, you've got to start wondering where they're far enough into the season where you should have a better feel. I don't know if it's coaching, if Mitch Johnson is just making the wrong decisions at the wrong time, but you've got to look there. You've also got to look at the starting lineup with Chris Paul, who seemed pretty ineffective just reading about the last game. I didn't see any of it, but just reading about the last game, you start to wonder whatever promises were made to Chris Paul when he decided to come to San Antonio. Is that where you have to now say, dude, things have changed because we added De'Aaron Fox?
Yes, you do. I'm sorry, it's a business. This is not an after-school program. This is a business, and Chris Paul knows that. He knows that. And so I really am surprised because, look, Chris Paul's never been a good defensive player. He just never really has. Guy is a great point guard. He's a Hall of Famer. He's all of that, and that's going to happen. But he's not the best defender in the world. And you look at losing to teams, and especially Charlotte, and Orlando's is a pretty good ball club. They've got some players. But to lose to both of those teams on the road the way that they have, and it's heartbreaking, honestly. De'Aaron Fox is playing well. Devin Vassell, not so much. I mean, these guys they've got to step up. And we talked about this when Fox got here, Minix, that guys like Vassell, this is their opportunity to step up. And if they don't, then the Spurs got to think about moving on from them. Keldon Johnson has not played well. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if it's the Charlotte game or the Orlando game, he only played like 13 minutes. So you're going to have some decisions to make. The Spurs still have some holes to fill. This team is not the way it's going to be next season. I just believe that with all my heart. There's going to be some folks gone and some new people in here. And so, but, you got to start winning some games.
Well, that's it. I mean, you're 50 games in, so there's 32 left, and they're sitting at 22 wins. You're going to need 38 to 40 to get into the playoffs, don't you think, to be a playoff team, not a play-in team?
Sure, but
I mean, do you see this team going 500 the rest of the way? That becomes the question. And again, those 1-point losses, they could have been wins, should have been wins. We were on the airplane coming home Saturday with a guy that went to the Charlotte game with his son, and just what a heartbreaking loss, right? But he was talking about it, just the experience of going on the road to see the team play. But again, they're 3-7 in their last 10, 22-28 now, and those 5, 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, however many you think they should have won that they lost, you start to wonder. Okay, you're 50 in, there's 32 left. Are you going to be able to go 500 over that stretch? If you do that, you're probably a playoff team. With De'Aaron Fox now and seeing what he's been able to do. Little concerning, he did reveal that he's probably going to need offseason surgery, but that hasn't affected his play either in Sacramento or while he is here. But is that still a goal? Well, what happens to Phoenix? What happens to Sacramento? What happens to Dallas? Quite frankly, Golden State, all teams that are currently ahead of San Antonio in the standings. Dallas, I expect to struggle some. Sacramento, probably. Phoenix, yes. So can the Spurs take advantage of that and make a real playoff run this year?
Do you think so? I mean, does your gut tell you they can? At this point in time, no. I don't think that they can. I really don't. As it's constructed, look, I'm not sure how they're playing this. With Stephon Castle coming off the bench, I mean, he was their best player against Charlotte on Friday night. I mean, he was their best player. And he's coming off the bench, and that's fine if that's what you want to do, and you want to keep Chris Paul for whatever reason in the starting lineup, and that's okay. Monte Ginobili did wonders being the sixth man and coming off the bench, so that's fine. If you like that for Castle, great. 33 points for Castle. Wemby only had 16 in that game. He was terrible, and as good as Wemby is,
here we go.
Can he stop shooting so damn many three-pointers?
It's his game.
No, it's not his game.
It is his game.
He was 1 for 9 from the three-point stripe against Charlotte. I mean, the guy is 7'4".
Uh-huh.
Can you get a little closer to the basket? Nobody can touch you under there.
It's his game. I wish he would take more high-percentage shots and fewer threes, but it's his game. And that's what the NBA is today, which is why I think a big part of the reason why ratings are down. Nobody really wants to watch a whole bunch of threes taken, especially when it's brick after brick after brick after brick after. Oh, we made one brick after brick after brick. When he's making them, we don't bitch about it. But when you're 1 of 9, shoot or shoot. Shoot or shoot.
Well, until then maybe they go a little closer to the basket when you're 7'4" tall. And then you go in there and there's nobody taller than you, so go in there and dominate. And I know it's not his game, but for goodness sake, you got to learn to adjust, don't you? If you're not hitting the three-point shot, do something else. I mean, for goodness sake, the guy was 7 of 20 on Friday night. I get it, but even generational players have bad nights. I understand this, but it doesn't seem like he's been shooting the ball well from the three-point stripe lately. Very good at all.
Well, what do we got? 3 games until the All-Star break. And then obviously Wemby's going to the All-Star weekend, and there's still some things that the Spurs need to do, but I don't know if the kid's tired. But yeah, let's see. Like tonight's game should be an interesting game.
Well, they should win this game going away. Washington's horrible.
That's why I say it should be an interesting game because, Washington, they're searching for their 10th win of the year, right? So, but what I want to see from the Spurs is just domination. And if they've got a big lead, I hope that they don't bring people out because they need to practice. They need to run together. They need to work on some things. And so if they can do that in an actual game, do it. But what they can't do is screw around like they did the other night where they had a big lead and then all of a sudden it was gone. And that's the concerning part, and that's where you start to look at Mitch Johnson and wonder if this guy is just in over his head. A good coach knows when to call a timeout to stop a run when you're blowing a big lead. A good coach knows to dial up a high percentage play that can stop a scoring drought. And and I'm just not seeing that from Mitch Johnson. I'm just not.
Well, Mitch Johnson, Minix, is learning how to win. He's learning how to win. Just like the rest of the Spurs, we're still learning how to win.
Well, by now, shouldn't we have like a master's degree in this?
We should, yes. Absolutely we should. Look, I don't have any hope for this team making the playoffs, and maybe they don't want to. You're back in the lottery. If you could very well have 2 lottery picks, although Atlanta has been looking a little bit better over the last couple of games. Who knows what that's going to shake out or how it will. But, again, you did the right thing with De'Aaron Fox. I'm happy about that. He comes in. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Devin Vassell, I just saw a stat, and I guess we celebrate that. Since the arrival of Fox, Vassell's shooting percentage has gone up. So maybe he will get it, and those 2 guys will mesh, and Vassell will be the guy that I've always hoped that he would be. But you're going to have to do something with Chris Paul. You're going to have to. Harrison Barnes doesn't like – he has his games.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a lot of holes to fill. So I don't expect that gets done. And even if the Spurs made the playoffs, Jason, I mean, it would be an accomplishment, but I'm not going to hold any hope that they're going to go anywhere.
Expectation for me is make the playoffs. That's the first step in learning how to win. Play playoff basketball. Get that understanding of what it's like. And, do I expect them to make any kind of deep run? No. I mean, if anything, second round at best. But, if they eke in, maybe, I think second round would be, let's go honking on Commerce Street. But just to get that playoff experience, they're always talking about steps. That's the next step. Not play in one and done, play off. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. You look at the Eagles, lost a Super Bowl. Now they won one. Your Philadelphia Eagles.
NFC East, babe. Way to represent.
Super Bowl champs.
Way to represent, Eagles. NFC East.
Let's talk about them. Super Bowl game last night. What did you guys think? We're talking about it all. The game, did you like the game or think it was boring? The score bug that Fox was using. How'd Brady do? Halftime. You want to talk Super Bowl? Let's do it. 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now injury clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs back in action yesterday, taking on the Wizards. We'll talk about how they look. Houston Baylor had a big one last night in college hoops. And how do we face the world with no football on the horizon? We'll figure it out. Rob and A.J. will start it at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com. Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at GMTVCC.com.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Are you facing divorce, a child custody battle, or a complex family dispute? AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks brings unique experience to the table. As a veteran and first responder, he knows the challenges, he knows the pressure, and he knows how to fight for what's yours. The Hicks Law Firm offers flat-free representation from beginning to end and payment plans so you can get representation now. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Try Round Table Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Sledge is on his game today with the music. Not sure what's going on.
Isn't he, though?
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always comment on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Just watch out for trolls on there that are claiming to be Joe Reinagel by misspelling it.
Everybody wants to be me.
Not true.
Sure. I get it. You can't blame the dude. Wants to be me.
I always love those that don't even use their real name. Making fun of my shirt today. It's a nice Tommy Bahama sweatshirt, man. There's nothing wrong with it. Said I'm dressed like a hobo.
A hobo?
But yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
I saw a bunch of, well, how do you call them, hobos?
Homeless people?
Homeless people sleeping on the streets of New Orleans this weekend.
You did?
Yes.
Well, it's just a couple.
Then you had to step over them. You don't remember that?
Oh, there was the one guy.
Yeah, there were several.
Well, there was one point we were walking from one bar to another, and we were going to meet some friends, the Brits, and they were at this place. We were walking, and so we put it in our phones, and it was like, I'm not sure about this. So we asked a cop. He was like, you can go that way. It's faster. But if I were you, I'd keep going this way and take the extra 7 minutes.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we took advantage. It was a very dark roadway that was the shortcut to where we were going, and we decided we walk because there were a lot more people and a lot more lights.
Yes.
So I think we made the wise decision.
We definitely made.
When a police officer tells you should go the other way, you should probably go the other way.
Well, I mean, look. Yes, and while our house was in a interesting neighborhood, we had no issues there. Although
no.
Almost every Uber driver warned us about walking in the neighborhood in which our Airbnb was at.
He did.
Well, yeah. Beautiful Airbnb.
Yeah, the inside was fantastic.
Yeah.
No problems. But we never experienced any issues with the neighborhood.
No.
I mean, we weren't there all that long except to sleep. And
pretty much.
So I don't but there were no issues. I thought it was fine.
Now, R.J. Ochoa apparently had some issues at his Airbnb.
He did.
Which wasn't far from ours.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of the neighbors there weren't real thrilled that there were people not from the neighborhood staying in the neighborhood.
Really?
And then he told this story. He said there was a convenience store down the block. And he said, I literally ran to and ran back. He's scared.
Oh, my goodness.
Comical.
Yeah, he is comical.
He really is.
Uh-huh.
The game itself, not comical.
Not for Kansas City, anyway.
Total domination by Philadelphia. Wasn't a great – I didn't find it to be a great football game, kind of boring. When you have no dog in the fight, I just want a good game back and forth in a close game. The one thing – that I said all last week on Radio Row, I just don't want a blowout, even though I did say more than once, the only way Philly wins is a blowout. Close game, Kansas City's going to win. But I didn't want to see a blowout. I don't know that anybody ever wants to see a blowout unless you're a Philly fan. And even then, I was texting one of my friends who is a diehard Eagle fan, middle of the fourth quarter, and he said he was still nervous. Can't celebrate yet. Can't celebrate yet. Can't celebrate yet. If you're that guy, I get it. But for the most part, I just wanted a good football game, and we didn't. We had a dominating performance on both sides of the ball from the Philadelphia Eagles, which might have been the biggest surprise considering they were playing a team chasing history with a three-peat.
Well, maybe that was part of the problem for Kansas City, or maybe it was just that Philadelphia is a better team. I mean, quite frankly, I just think Philadelphia is the better team all the way around, and they showed it. That defensive line for Philadelphia was just, dominant. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life most of the time. No blitzes. It was only 4 guys. The offensive line could not hold up against that Philly defensive line. It was fantastic. And then the other side of the ball, you got Jalen Hurts playing some of the best football I think we've ever seen Jalen Hurts play. And I'm going to say that not only in the Super Bowl yesterday, he was fantastic against Washington in the NFC Championship game. This guy is playing some of his best football. It's almost sad for him the season has to end, although he gets to take a couple of trophies home with him.
Yeah, and he's at Disney World right now at the parade.
And you got to be having fun with their Mickey Mouse right there, right? That's where the MVPs go.
Yep.
And well-deserved, and not taking anything away from Jalen Hurts because well-deserved. But I tell you what, it would not have surprised me if one of those defensive linemen, if somebody would have said, one of those guys needs to be the Super Bowl MVP. They were just fantastic. That Philadelphia defense, man, smothering.
Just the incredible play all the way around from Philadelphia. And so many things to get into with the game. Like, to me, I think that game changed on the DeAndre Hopkins drop. Philadelphia still might have won the game, but we'll never know because Kansas City's been down 10-0 in every one of their Super Bowl wins. And so it's 10-0, DeAndre Hopkins, wide open, and he dropped it.
Yep, he did.
Big third down play, great play design. Everything was perfect on that play except D-Hop with the big drop. Maybe he gets a lot of yak yards, would have gotten a lot of yak yards, but if Kansas City scores there, it's a completely different game. Changes the way Philadelphia does everything, moving forward. And so to me, that was just such a big-time change because it's 10-0 at that point. And then all of a sudden you get the pick six from Cooper DeJean, and now it's 17-0, and you almost feel like game is over at that point.
Well, it basically was. I mean, Kansas City wasn't doing anything. 23 yards at halftime. That's all they had, 23 yards. And we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, 23 yards at halftime. That's how good it was. And I see where you're coming from, and I understand that, but I just think Philadelphia, there was no way they were losing that football game yesterday. Even if Kansas City goes down and scores and make it a 10-7 game there, I still don't think they couldn't deal with Philadelphia's offense. They couldn't stop Jalen Hurts, whether he was doing it with his arm or with his legs. They were so concentrating on Saquon Barkley, and they did a hell of a job on Barkley. You got to give them that. That's the one thing the Chiefs defense did well, but then they forgot about everybody else. They said, Jalen, you beat us, and Jalen beat them. And that's what happened, and that defense was just spectacular yesterday.
When I look at, and you look at that one play, you look at Philadelphia, they were 3 of 12 on third down. They were over on their 1 fourth down try. Kansas City was 3 of 11 on third down, over 1 on fourth down. Time of possession was just massive, 36-58 to 23-02. And so you take one play early in the game when it's still a game, and if they're able to score there. But instead, Kansas City's defense gets the stop, Philly punts, and Patrick Mahomes throws an interception, short field touchdown. And Philly took advantage of the short fields and were able to stack some points. But that's where you look at and go, okay, Philly wasn't great on third down, but they did hold the ball a long time. They didn't run the ball well, but Jalen Hurts was incredible. And I say they didn't Saquon didn't run the ball well. Jalen Hurts was the leading rusher in the game. I don't know how many people took that on their props because you would think it would have been Saquon, but it was Jalen Hurts who outrushed Saquon Barkley by 20-something yards.
Yeah, incredible. And he did. And, again, I just think Kansas City was so focused on Barkley that they just lost track of Jalen Hurts. And Hurts made some great decisions yesterday. When to pull the ball down and run with it and when to make the throws. And I don't remember a bad throw. I'm sure there was. I just don't remember it.
The interception?
Okay. I'm just saying. This guy did not throw many bad balls, and most of them were right on the money. And so this guy, Philly was just they're the better team.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that simple. And anybody that says differently just wasn't watching the same game. They're the better team. And I guarantee you, they play 10 times. Philly's going to win 8 of those games. I just believe that that's a fact. I just think they're that much better. Kansas City, fortunate to be there in the Super Bowl again. They did what they had to do. They would win games and pull them out, but they didn't blow anybody out this year. Nobody.
Not really. And it's interesting when you look at and you think about the what could have been, right? If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you're sick to your stomach today. Because the team that showed up against Philly doesn't feel like the team that showed up in the playoffs this year. They don't. I mean, you go back, Houston lost to that team. Houston would have played better yesterday. Buffalo would have played a lot better. Baltimore probably would have played a lot better. In Kansas City, man, they got to the finish line and they were, I don't know, out of gas. I don't want to make excuses for them because they played like dog crap, but they didn't play like the team that we have seen. Is that just a byproduct of the pressure of chasing history, playing 3 straight years where you're making it to the Super Bowl, the number of games? But even then, the lack of creativity from the genius Andy Reid, who we heard all week, oh, he's got 2 weeks to get ready. They're always drawing up new stuff and putting it in. And where was it? Because honestly, I didn't see good play calling. I mean, what we saw from Kansas City in a lot of ways is what we saw from the Dallas Cowboys a year ago against the Green Bay Packers. They looked nothing like the team that got to that point and got steamrolled in the postseason.
Yeah, that's a good point and a good comparison. I just think Philadelphia came in with a chip on their shoulders and said, man, we're not losing this football game. We should have won the game before against these guys in the Super Bowl. We didn't, and we're going to win this game. And they did, and they came in with just that quote Rocky III, Eye of the Tiger, and they got it done.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a game by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Jalen Hurts, the MVP, although Sweat or Williams could have won it. Sweat had 2.5 sacks.
I mean, all
Williams
4 of
had
those guys.
2. Yeah.
All 4 of those guys. And even if they don't get the sack, they were putting pressure on Mahomes, flushing him out of the pocket, and making him hurry throws. And it was just a great job. And they just overwhelmed the Chiefs' offensive line.
And seeing the highlights, Williams also had the fumble recovery on the sack. Again, I have no issue with Jalen Hurts winning MVP.
Not at all. Not at all.
And honestly, with everything that he's gone through, proud of him for getting that. I mean, just you think about that guy's journey for him to end up winning a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP just changes everything about the outlook of Jalen Hurts. We'll talk a lot more about it coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First of all, I got to tell you about Stevens Roofing, my favorite roofing company for sure. Local company, family-owned company, and, well, they just do things right. You don't stay in business as long as Stevens Roofing has been in business. If you're not doing it right, they're certainly doing it right. Plenty of satisfied customers to go around that deal with Stevens Roofing. And, you know, Texas roofs are not designed for Texas weather, especially the winter weather, because when that ice and snow melt, the water seeps into the little cracks. That water refreezes. That creates bigger cracks. And they could result in loose shingles and leaks that could damage your home. And you don't want that, obviously, because your roof is the shield that protects your home and family. So don't wait until you see the damage. Call the trusted pros at Stevens Roofing. Family-owned business with that solid reputation for reliability and quality service, because now is not the time for a DIY fix. Call Stevens Roofing today for a free roof inspection at 210-785-0994. You can also visit them online at stevensroofing.net. Look, don't let Texas weather catch you off guard. Call Stevens Roofing to make sure your roof is in tip-top shape. Little rain today, cold weather. Who knows what the month of February has in store for us when it comes to cold weather. Stevens Roofing is there for you. In fact, they've been protecting Texas families one roof at a time. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
George gets justice. No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
With Target, checking off your Valentine's Day list has never been easier. First, surprise your favorite people with something extra thoughtful, like a soothing candle and a memorable scent, or a decorative picture frame to show off every moment. Both buy one, get one 50% off with Target Circle. And don't forget to treat yourself. Find the sweetest style for your special occasion with 20% off women's dresses now through Friday. This week, find Valentine's gifts for everyone you love, only at Target.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys are reportedly weighing their options with star edge rusher Micah Parsons. Parsons enters the final year of his rookie contract, and according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport, well, there have been no trade talks, but sources say there have been at least some internal discussions about whether to pay Parsons or trade him for a king's ransom. Spurs back in action. They're in Washington tonight against the Wizards.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, back from New Orleans after a great week on Radio Row.
It was a great week. A lot of great guests this trip. And I was telling somebody, Ann, I think one of the salespeople, that for me in my 4th year going to the Super Bowl here at the radio station, I think it might have been the best because of the list of guests that we had.
Pledge is looking at you weird. I don't know. I mean, it's always a solid list. And years in the making of creating relationships and utilizing that and, coordinating schedules and all that kind of stuff. But it was a solid week. It always is. I mean, and the fact that you enjoyed New Orleans.
No.
I think that's what surprised Pledge is what he's telling me here. You said New Orleans was the best. Yeah.
I said the list of guests that we had at this Super Bowl were the best. New Orleans was exactly what I know New Orleans is. It's just
you had fun, didn't you?
It had its moments. I had fun at the watching Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll was fun.
Had fun at the cigar party. Had fun meeting Jelly Roll in the bathroom.
Careful how you say that.
I'm just saying it's a fact. That was fun.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, this year we had Paige Sporonic.
We had that,
and that's one of the gifts that we brought back for James Pledger.
What, Paige Sporonic?
No.
Oh.
No.
I was about to say, y'all brought Paige back?
Wow.
Dude, if we did that, I wouldn't be giving that to Pledge.
You got it in the bag there?
But she did give us these little ball marks, Pledge. Yeah, from Paige.
How about that?
That'd be one of your gifts.
Use that Saturday.
So that's nice.
What else is in
there?
Had
a couple other things in there, Pledge.
Absolutely. Some graham crackers from the Southwest Airlines.
I don't like those things. They're not good. You might like them, Pledge.
Pledge
like
eats anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know what they did away with their other snacks. Yeah, you're right. Southwest Airlines.
The peanuts?
Yes. They got these crappy pretzels now and then graham crackers. Why don't you just throw out a bag of Lay's potato chips?
Do you want the one sheet from Paige? I want to be careful showing it on camera because the phone number's on here.
Why? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I might keep that one for myself.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of the one sheet.
We got a copy machine. The traditional shot glass. Yep.
Nice.
All right, come over here, Pledge. Come in here. Take your hat off.
You know what I like about that shot glass? It says no L.A. I agree.
It actually says NOLA.
I agree.
And from SpongeBob.
Yes.
You've got to wear that the rest of the day and during extra innings with Pledge.
That's not SpongeBob.
Well,
he just got slimed.
Yes, but SpongeBob was the one that was there handing them out.
Why? They don't have anything to do with each other.
I think it's all Nickelodeon. It's all Nickelodeon.
Baloney.
But it was literally SpongeBob that was the one that was the character handing those things out.
How about that?
So you got to wear that all day. All right, congrats.
Yes, you're going to be wearing that along with my grandson.
You can look at the one sheet, but I'm not. Yeah. Get some golf lessons. Here, you want the bag?
Just go to Instagram, Pledge. Have a good time.
Her golf lessons are called Just the Tip.
Wow.
They're golf tips.
Wow.
I don't know if we can do the whole show with you wearing that. No, you got to keep it on, though. You got to keep it on, and you got to do extra innings with Pledge that way.
It doesn't fit with the headphones. Don't fit with this on.
That's too bad.
Make it work.
That's too bad.
Be creative.
We had a bunch of people walking around the convention center wearing those things, though, because I don't know, they were passing these out like candy. Well, and that couldn't be cheap to make, right? I mean, that's like hard plastic.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to bring back. I can tell you that much.
It was, yes.
The interesting thing is early in the week, they were doing they had a contest there, and you could spin the wheel and win that or slime or some other stuff. And they were being very chintzy with it. Then towards the end of the week, it was like, here, take these. We don't want to take them back.
They didn't want them back.
You want these? Do you have any kids at your house? No. Do you got neighbors with kids? Yeah. All right, here, take these.
Have you already given those to house kids?
Yeah, absolutely.
Already did, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Did they like it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Well, I mean, Eli was excited.
All right, well, good.
Yeah.
I don't know which one Eli is.
The littler one. I didn't see Adler, the older one.
All right.
But I'm sure he loves it.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah. He's at that age. He's hitting puberty and,
Yeah. If he's hitting puberty, he ain't going to be wearing that thing around.
You'd be surprised.
All right. Well, maybe.
Hat day at school.
Maybe the girls today are into that. They want to get slimed.
Uh-huh. That's what it is.
I'm just saying. Because they just get gooey and sticky and stick all over everything.
See, I don't know if Pledge should have a slime hat and a Paige Sporonic ball marker. Hey, you left it here, too. Yeah. You don't have to come back for it, man. It's not going anywhere. Just stay over there wearing your green hair.
And Minix never hits the green. He has no need for a ball mark.
Well, I've got another one.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got one, too, along with my, what's the name of that? El Cortez.
Yeah.
Wasted $2 on those chips.
Wait.
Because I walked away from the blackjack table with two $1 chips.
Oh, I was going to say, it was only $1. You didn't buy it.
Well, I actually, in essence, I did.
Well,
I had to put the money out to get the chips. Yes, in essence, I did. But if you go to buy one of those at a golf course, they're like $5.
Exactly. Or just take $1 chip.
So I got them. No, I'm good. I use my El Cortez chip all the time. Now I'll have to switch them out. Because I snagged one of those Page chips, too.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Yes.
Didn't the table at El Cortez heat up after he left, too?
No, I won money
No,
there.
he won money.
I actually won money.
It was the one place.
Yeah. El Cortez has been good to me every time I've gone in there. I've always walked out of there with some of their money.
Mm-hmm.
It's never a lot, but, I mean, it's enough, and at least you had some fun, and that's a cool place to play. I feel comfortable in there. It's a nice dive place.
It's great, and you didn't know about it. And I was like, we got to go. You're like,
yeah.
I don't want to go. And now it's like, that's my spot.
Absolutely it is.
And it's a short block.
What is that, like 2 blocks
Circa
from
Las
Circa?
Vegas?
It's just right down there.
Absolutely. In fact, we'll probably end up there for a couple hours in March when we're out at Circa Las Vegas because, we're back from New Orleans and already thinking ahead to our next big trip. You want to go. All you got to do is circalasvegas.com, promo code Blitz. You'll get a discount on the rooms. We're going to be out there broadcasting the Blitz live March 27th and 28th, that Thursday, Friday. Sweet 16 of the tournament, opening day of Major League Baseball. You want to go hang out with us in Vegas at Circa Las Vegas? Go book your rooms now.
Yeah, do it.
Book your flights.
I just got a text from Southwest Airlines. They're having a sale right now. So
we've already bought our flights, but if you haven't, book your flights now.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're welcome.
For what?
Well, I'm not you.
Oh.
All of them out there in radio land and YouTube land and whatever other land they're listening in.
Promo code Blitz at circalasvegas.com. That's the important thing. Get your flights, however you're going to get your flights.
Yes, do that.
Mm-hmm. You could do that. Odds makers aren't overly optimistic about the Dallas Cowboys in this upcoming season.
Imagine that.
They're like Joe Reinagle's working for the sports books now. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First of all, what are you doing for dinner? Have you thought about it? Well, I know you probably cooked a lot yesterday if you had any Super Bowl plans or whatever the case, and you really don't feel like it tonight. Let Round Table Pizza do the cooking for you tonight. It's really easy because, well, it's great pizza first and foremost. So they've got signature ingredients. They're made from scratch dough. They have a 3-cheese blend, and they have toppings that are all the way to the edge. I really like that. It really creates a perfect pizza. And right now they've got a brand new one that they'd like for you to try, and they're giving you good incentive to do that. It's the new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. It's only available for a limited time, but you can enjoy a large right now or tonight for $19.99. And then you can pair that pizza with some of their shareables like crispy mozzarella sticks, spicy jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. Certainly the perfect bite to complement that pizza. To find your nearest location and order the new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza, either for pickup or delivery, or to head in there and eat there, head to roundtablepizza.com. Again, it's roundtablepizza.com.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself anymore, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment like you'll get with the TRT experts at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
Guys, this is AJ. If you're feeling kind of tired or low on energy, do what I did. Check out Game Day Men's Health on Bassey Road. You'll get a personalized plan that starts with a free testosterone test. Call 210-900-3691. That's Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with the drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
It's the
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
Howdy. Keep waiting for Pledge to come back with some Los Lonely Boys. But since he hasn't, let's just give away some Los Lonely Boys tickets. They're playing the Aztec on February 16th. You want to go?
What day is that? You just said it, dude.
Well, no, I guess it's this Sunday.
Oh, the 15th.
No, the 16th.
The 16th.
Yeah, I said the 16th. I wasn't sure if it was what day. Valentine's Day is Friday.
Dude, it's more pressure.
That's the 14th.
Holy cow.
The 16th is Sunday.
Okay.
You want to go see Los Lonely Boys, and hopefully on Valentine's you aren't lonely. We got your tickets right now. Going to caller number 14, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. See, this could be your Valentine's gift. You could say, hey, Friday's one thing, but Sunday we're going to the show.
How about that?
Yeah.
So then you wouldn't have to do anything Friday.
See, or, well, at least not buy anything because we've got you taken care of. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them. LiveNation.com. Caller 14, those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. So, Monday after the Super Bowl, everybody can say, next year's our year. See, I saw Frank, our resident Washington fan, say, next year, Washington's winning. See, everybody does that. Texan fan, everybody does that. Cowboy fans, it's always next year for us. Or is it? Now, if you believe that the Cowboys are going to win, the odds are you go put $20 or $100 down in Vegas right now, and they actually do that, you're going to win big money.
Big money.
Big money, because the odds makers don't think much of the Dallas Cowboys.
They don't think much of the Dallas Cowboys, and why should they? You got a lot of holes to fill. Our good friend John Machota says, according to BetMGM, the odds to win next year's Super Bowl, only 3 NFC teams are considered to be longer shots than Dallas: the Giants, the Saints, and the Panthers.
So they're in good company.
Well, that's quite the bottom feeders that the Cowboys are associated with.
It really is. ESPN has their power rankings out looking ahead to next year. And I find it interesting. They've got Kansas City at 1, Buffalo at 2, Detroit at 3, and Philadelphia at 4. Baltimore at 5, Washington at 6, Green Bay, the Chargers, the Bengals, Houston there at 11. Keep scrolling. At some point, we'll see the Cowboys. There they are at number 18.
18. Well, it's about halfway, right? A little on the other side of halfway. But
math is hard.
It is.
Describe this offseason in 3 words. All about Jerry. Here's the thing for the Dallas Cowboys, and it is all about Jerry, who said this last week, they're not in rebuild. All right. So are you going to treat this offseason differently than previous offseasons? Are you going to give Brian Schottenheimer some players that he can be successful with, like he did in years 2 and 3 with Mike McCarthy? If he does that, anything's possible. You have a quarterback and a receiver. You've got some offensive linemen that you hope are better this year in year 2 than they were in year 1. You've got to go get a legitimate running back and another wide receiver not named Jonathan Mingo. Yes,
all of those things are true. CeeDee Lamb, I think, will continue to get better. So you've got your playmaker on the outside, but running game has to be addressed. And that offensive line, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. A lot's going to depend on Zach Martin. Is he coming back? Do the Cowboys want him back for another year? Terrence Steele's another guy. He didn't have the best of years.
Fell off.
Yeah, last year. So what do you do with him? Do you replace him as well? And then the Cowboys have a lot of free agents to deal with of their own.
Yep.
So they're going to have to decide who they want to pay, who they don't, who they want to bring back, who they don't. So a lot of question marks. It's going to be an interesting offseason, not only for the Cowboys, but for the entire NFL. It's just fascinating.
Always is. But when you look at Dallas, if they work out a deal with Micah right at the start of the new league year, right before the new league year, I think we'll have an indication from Jerry Jones that he is all in this year. He said it last year, and he did everything opposite and then tried to say his definition was different, and he was all in on taking care of his guys and Dak and CD, and he did that at the 11th hour. If they get the Micah deal done early, that frees up so much money under the cap, and they'll be able to go do some free agent shopping. Obviously, he's got to rework Dak's deal to lower that cap hit, and I think that is expected to happen. And once they get that done, how much more money? Do I expect the Cowboys on day one of free agency to go get a splash guy? No. But they don't have to go get a splash guy if they just make good, smart decisions with who they go get fairly early in the free agent process. You go back a couple of years ago where they made some very smart moves with some trades that, I mean, the trade for Gilmore was a great trade at the time, and it didn't cost them much. So if they can do moves like that this offseason, then maybe they'll be better. And again, that shows that the front office is about winning. Jerry's very aware, and he does pay attention. Now, he loves being in the news and the circus that comes, but with what you're seeing from Dallas Maverick fans after the Luka trade, and the fact that that's never really happened to the Dallas Cowboys, but this fan base right now is at the verge of protesting like that, at the verge of saying, screw it, I'm not going to buy season tickets again. I'm tired of that. Maybe Jerry is watching what's happening to the Mavericks and is saying, dude, we can't do that. We've got to do something different. Maybe.
Well, look, Jerry, with all the contracts he's going to have to rework, I would think he might have to do CD Lamb as well. He's going to do what he doesn't want to do. He's going to put all that on a credit card that it's going to come due in a couple of years. So is he going to be all in and do that and push that down the line so you can sign some guys? Dak Prescott's going to, as it stands right now, about $90 million on the salary cap this year. Just Dak Prescott alone. So how much of that are you going to push down the line, and where do you go, and who else do you do that with? So it's going to be interesting to see, and that will tell you a lot about what Jerry is thinking. Again, I know Cowboy fans don't want to hear this, and everybody's mad at me, including our good friend R.J. Ochoa, who thinks I'm nuts and throws me under the bus with his Cowboy following all the time. But I think the Cowboys should sincerely at least kick the tires, put it out there, get some offers on what you could get in return for a Micah Parsons. The only thing that might make that more difficult now is that you're going up against a Myles Garrett. So you're going to have two of them out there if you do that, if that's what they choose to do. I just think, to me, that would be the quickest way, and it would be something different for sure, but it would be the quickest way to get this team back into prominence and with a shot at getting back into the playoffs and hunting a Super Bowl. If you can get that king's ransom that everybody believes that Micah Parsons would fetch. Then you wouldn't have to worry. That takes a lot of salary off of your books as well, because you're going to pay Micah Parsons $35 million a year at a minimum. And so, I just think it's something you have to look at. I just don't understand Cowboy fans that say, absolutely not, Micah's off the board. We're not trading Micah Parsons. You can't let your feelings get in the way of business, and you got to at least look at it. If it's not a good deal, don't do it.
Whatever the offer is, if there is an offer, and again, reports over the weekend, the Cowboys have had internal discussions about it. So what does that tell you? They had, well, what if? What if? What do you think he's worth? I would probably think that every organization has some players that they have those conversations about. What is this guy worth? Or who could we get? Would he be as good? But how much is the drop-off? That becomes the question. Players in the NFL, we've seen, that crazy movement. Like, I'm surprised that the Raiders we're not trading Max Crosby. Stop. I mean, talk about a team that needs a fix, and if you're Max Crosby, do you want to be there and not win? And you listen to Micah Parsons this week in New Orleans, all the different comments, Dallas Cowboy for life, but also, if I don't have a ring by 30, I got to go somewhere. I'm going to join the Chiefs and go chase a ring, because he does not want to end his career without a ring. Nobody is married, right? And divorce could happen. So while I don't think the Cowboys would trade Micah Parsons, I'm not against it if the return is what you think it might be. I mean, he's not a quarterback. If you've got yourself a franchise quarterback like the Houston Texans, they're never going to trade a C.J. Stroud. But if they have to trade a Will Anderson in a couple of years, if they're in the same kind of boat, you can recover and hide at trading a defensive player much more than you can a quarterback. And Will Anderson is my new favorite Texans player.
He's great.
He was great with us on Friday on Radio Row, but at some point, and this is where Houston is missing opportunities, and you can blame a guy in Kansas City for that, but at some point you're going to have to pay both of those guys likely in the same year, being first-round picks.
Yeah.
So if the Texans are like, well, let's see, what do we do here? Well, what could they get for a Will Anderson? Would that be the smart thing to do? You wouldn't do that with C.J. Stroud, but you could certainly do that with a defensive player.
Look, and again, we've got a comment on our YouTube page. If they trade Micah Parsons, it will hurt the franchise for a long time. I'm not exactly sure how that happens. That it will hurt the franchise for a long time. Look, let's go back 30 years. Jimmy Johnson pulled off a trade with the Minnesota Vikings. Herschel Walker, and got a boatload of people that resulted in 3 Super Bowl championships. I mean, I don't understand. It's not unprecedented to get rid of star players if you can get a haul for them, and then you end up, I don't know, maybe winning a Super Bowl or 2 before the next 30 years rolls around. I mean, to me, the Cowboys have to do something. They absolutely have to do something. Your salary cap, your books are bloated right now with Dak Prescott, with C.D. Lamb, and then if you sign Micah Parsons, you got 3 players eating up a hell of a lot of salary cap. You got players that you want to bring back that are on your team now. How many of those guys are you going to do? And then who are you going to go out and get? I mean, it just seems to me that to build this team back quicker, sooner rather than later, you might have to make a controversial move. And I'm certainly not talking about a Luka Doncic for a bag of chips. All right? Not that Anthony Davis is a bag of chips, but he certainly doesn't play a lot.
The DeAndre Hopkins trade is the one that comes to mind when you think about bad trades.
And it does, but I'm not saying do it or it's written in stone, but at least see what somebody will offer you. And if you don't like the deal, you don't like the deal. Micah's not going anywhere. He's under contract, and then you re-sign him. But I just think you owe it to yourself. You owe it to the franchise. You owe it to the fans to try and get better sooner rather than later. And one way to do that is to maybe get rid of a player that's very popular.
Well, one of the things that you look at is if Micah and Micah's team knows that they're willing to move on and trade him, how much does that help with the negotiations? If he doesn't have a deal by the start of the new league year, you're a little handcuffed when it comes to shopping and free agency. Then you have to wonder, does he hold out of OTAs and minicamps? Is he going to show up for training camp? Is he going to hold out? All of that. So if you keep saying you're going to sign him and there's no conversation about, or we could trade you, now granted, a trade would have to have some sort of commitment from the other team that they are going to sign him to that deal, although Micah does not have a no-trade clause, but nobody's going to give up the King's ransom without Micah signing off and saying,
sure,
yeah, I'm going to be there.
Right.
But also, what is he worth? And again, the GM part of it, it's not like in the NBA, 3-1s and all. I mean, you almost wonder what is a Micah Parsons worth on the trade market, and is it all picks or is it picks and players? And then what are those players coming in return? I'm with you. I don't think it will happen, but I would at least be having those conversations if I'm Will McClay and Jerry and Steven, just to see what the market is, what the demand is. Do you get more than one team involved? Because now you've got a bidding war. If it's just one team, they're not going to bid against themselves.
Absolutely. I think you owe it to yourself as the franchise owner and general manager, Will McClay, to at least check it out. And if they're having internal discussions, they're thinking about it. If that report is true, the Cowboys are saying, what if? And that's all I'm asking. Then go out and find a what if. You don't even have to make it public. It doesn't have to be, although it will get that way. But,
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, look, it's not that we can come out and say, yeah, we're giving Micah Parsons permission to seek a trade, like San Francisco did with Debo. but we're looking. We're calling GMs. We're picking up the phone. What would a Micah Parsons be worth to you? I think you owe it to yourself to at least check it out and then go from there. If you don't like the results, you're no worse off than you were before.
Unless, of course, you don't get Micah signed.
Well,
that would
then there's that.
That would be the hard part. It's going to be interesting. You mentioned Debo, permission to seek trade. There's a lot of NFL news to get into this day after the Super Bowl. We'll do that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Do you ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, comments, hot takes, picture-perfect families, somebody else with that humble brag about their job? Hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent just 45 minutes focused on how you were doing. And you can at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part? Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Now, I've become a lot more aware about the importance of therapists and mental health with my daughter right now working on her degree to become a therapist, and Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable as an in-network provider. They work with insurance plans helping to lower the cost, and Cerebral, proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being, and you can do it from the comfort of your home. Cerebral.com is the website. Take the first step today. Go to Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral. Make time for Mind Time.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When life changes fast, you need a lawyer who's been there. AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks offers unique experience as a veteran and first responder to give you a strategic, results-driven approach. Facing divorce, child custody battle, or a complex family dispute, the Hicks Law Firm offers flat-fee representation from beginning to end, so you know exactly what to expect with no surprises. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win. The Hicks Law Firm.
Wow! Most cars and pickup trucks can have a ceramic film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint starting at just $199. That's an incredible price. If you shop around, you'll find that competitors charge hundreds of dollars more. Plus, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Mother's Window Tint offers up to 60 different film options to fit all price ranges. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has been known as the home of the tint and alarm special. If you're looking to enhance your vehicle security to the highest level, visit Mother's Window Tint today, where security systems start at just $3.99. Call us at 210-496-3454. That's 210-496-3454. Or visit us online at motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mothers and save!
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Are you a chronic interrupter? Incapable of letting other people talk? Do those people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have a 120-night sleep trial, so you can get your money back if a bed's not right. That way, anyone, even someone like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions.
Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Good to be back in SA. The 210.
The 210 on 210 Day.
210 Day.
Celebrate appropriately. In fact, we should help you celebrate appropriately. We got a gift card to give away for Mellow Monday. Mellow Mushroom gift card, $50 to Mellow Mushroom. How can we do this? Let's see. On YouTube. So you got to go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Fair enough.
And you've got to be the first person in the comments to tell us in the comments who Reinagel and I saw in concert Friday night at the Madden Bowl.
That's got to be all of them.
All of them.
Not just one of them.
Nope, all of them.
Okay.
All of them. First person that gets all of them is going to win that $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom on this Mellow Monday. So head over to the YouTube channel, search San Antonio Sports Star at YouTube, comment away for your chance to win the $50 gift card. Look at people are calling in. This is on YouTube only. So head over to the YouTube page. You'll be able to do that. I will tell you, One Direction was not one of them.
No, One Direction was not there.
No. We'll have some fun with that.
Do they? Are they still together? Are they headed in a different direction? I'm here all night, folks.
Yeah.
Tip your waitress.
Unfortunately. But that's what you get Monday nights on the Comedy Club circuit.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. All right, let's see. A lot of different NFL news to get into. You mentioned Debo has requested a trade, and San Francisco's told him, all right.
Go look.
Go look.
Yeah.
Interesting what's going on in San Francisco to see how it all works out. Keep in mind there were 4 artists we saw. Because I'm seeing a lot of people getting 3 of 4, but there were 4. Pat Benatar, not one of them.
Did we mention the 4th guy?
Oh, many times. So there was actually 5, but I don't remember the first guy. So he's off.
Yes, that's right.
He's off the books.
See, I'm glad you clarified that because I had forgotten about the guy you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Dak Prescott was there, but not in concert.
No. But Minix was drooling.
All right. It is amazing the star power that Dak Prescott is, and you saw this because we're on the floor, and all of a sudden everybody's turning around. It's like, what's going on? Dak had walked in and was taking a seat. Other stars that were there didn't get that same kind of reaction. The number of people turning around like I did, taking pictures of Dak Prescott in the first row of the balcony.
Well, Tyreek Hill got a little attention.
Yeah, because he went over to say hi to Dak.
And he was dancing. He was doing some kind of weird dance, too.
You know, you think about some of the other quarterbacks that were there. John Hamm, the actor guy, he didn't get that kind of attention, although except for from Jelly Roll of all people. But it's interesting.
Isn't he the guy on Landman? John Hamm? That's the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also known for something else. Ask your wife. She'll know.
Oh.
Just saying. All right, moving on. Guy supposedly has a reputation for having a big swinger. Just saying.
He knows how big he swings it.
Yeah, he's got a big swinger. So, just saying.
The things that stick in your head.
I'm just saying. We're watching Landman one night. I said, babe, isn't that the guy? She said, yeah. I didn't have to finish the question.
Really?
Yeah, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, dude. I know you're talking about Dak Prescott.
Hold on. Was it Ocho Cinco who was talking? Who was it? Pledge, I sent you the video on Instagram over the weekend. He was on with Stephen A. Who was that? Look that up real quick, because it's a story that I didn't know that I needed to hear, and now that I've heard it, I don't know that I needed to hear it. But he tells the story on Stephen A.'s podcast about getting surgery to enlarge things because he was really small, and then went into how small he used to be. And Stephen A. was like, "You don't really have to give details. That I didn't ask for a reason."
So who is this?
Looking it up. I thought.
Okay.
I mean, generally I send something like that to Pledge, and he has the audio ready to go, and I completely forgot about it until just now because I thought it would be perfect for the headline Blitz. Thanks, Pledge. Solid producing job today. But let's just say that at one point in his life, he was a solid 3 inches, according to him.
Solid 3. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Chad Johnson.
Chad, really?
Yes. There are lots of YouTube people that saw the same clip.
Wow.
So he went and had surgery. Said if women can make their breasts bigger, why can't I?
So he should have been Trace instead of Ocho.
Yes.
Just doesn't have the same rhythm to it, does it? Well, maybe now that's why he changed his name.
No, because he said what he's at. But anyway, that was funny. I'm glad we have that audio for you ready to go on the show. Good job, Pledge.
Oh. Wow.
So Aaron Rodgers probably isn't going to be a New York Jet. He's going to end up with Joe's team, and then Reinego's going to be the first to order an Aaron Rodgers Tennessee Titans jersey.
No, I really won't. Look, the Jets are smart. Aaron Glenn's a smart guy. He says, dude, we just need to start over, and you ain't it, and you're a bad locker room guy. And if the Titans do that, they get what they deserve. So, you hear this, that maybe they've got the number 1 pick in the draft, the Titans do. So they could draft a quarterback, either Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. But if they don't want to do that, they want to stick with Will Levis, the mayonnaise dude, and you want to bring in an Aaron Rodgers for a year to maybe let Will Levis learn under him. If that's something Aaron Rodgers is willing to do, then so be it. But I wouldn't be thrilled with that. I think it's time for Aaron to move on. Just go away.
But he's not.
Go away.
He's not going to go away.
Well,
I think he's a bum.
Well, somebody has to want him first. He can't, he may want to play, but, some team's going to have to want him. I don't think Pete Carroll wants him in Vegas.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pete Carroll had a reunited with Russell Wilson. And you wonder what's going to happen with Justin Fields. So who's going to quarterback the Pittsburgh Steelers? Could Aaron Rodgers end up there?
The Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't know why you'd want to do that to the Steelers.
All right. Take your dislike for Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, who's in need of a veteran quarterback?
Well, a veteran's one thing, and then an old man is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, an old man with an attitude.
You go to a team with a strong foundation and coaching staff, you could go there. I mean, again, depends on what his contract is. Somebody's still going to want an Aaron Rodgers. Was he as bad, or was the situation that bad in New York? You look at coming off the Achilles injury, and Kirk Cousins is probably going to be in play this year too, and there's going to be somebody that's going to offer him a job. Somebody's going to offer Sam Darnold a job. But when you look at coming off the Achilles, what were the expectations? Now, obviously, Aaron Rodgers always has higher expectations than most, but off of that injury, kind of interesting when you look at the season he had and Kirk Cousins had coming off of similar type of injuries. But I do think somebody out there, if Aaron Rodgers wants to play, is going to give him an opportunity. And you look around and who needs a quarterback, who wants a veteran quarterback, who feels like they have a team around him. See, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I look at Pittsburgh. I don't even look at Tennessee because they are more than just having decent quarterback play away from being a good football team.
That's absolutely correct.
But he's got a home in Nashville, so that makes all the sense in the world.
Aaron Rodgers can have a home in every city in the NFL, and he'd be just fine. I don't see why that makes a damn bit of difference. I don't blame him for having a house in Nashville. It's a great town. But for people to make that assumption, and we did the same thing with Derrick Henry. Well, he's got a house in Dallas.
Yeah.
So automatically he's coming here. Well, no, he didn't, and Jerry didn't even call him. So if the Titans want to do that, do it, and they get what they deserve. I mean, quite frankly, they get what they deserve. And they're not going anywhere either way. I would prefer them just cut bait and start over. Draft Cam Ward, start over. You've got your quarterback, and he's on a rookie deal, and get some players to go around him. That's what I would do if I was the general manager of the Titans, but unfortunately for them, I'm not.
Well, and again, being a jail, you just wonder, like, you give New York credit for trying. You know, they swung for the fences and hit a Texas leaguer, man. It didn't work. I appreciate them trying. I mean, it didn't work. Time to move on. Aaron Rodgers, does he want to go out this way, or does he want to keep playing? I'm trying to think who we were talking to the other day on Radio Row, because it's so easy for us to say, dude, you're washed, hang it up. It might have been Brian Baldinger. If you think you're done, play 2 more years. I think it was Baldinger, right? And so you wonder, and I think that applies to most athletes. Most athletes stay at the party a little too long because once it's over, it's over. Very few say, man, I'm not playing at the same level anymore. I'm out. You know, I go back to, and I don't know if he regrets it or not, but Dat Win said when he couldn't get from A to B as fast as he used to, he knew it was time to go.
Well, that's a smart man.
But if he could have played 2 more years at a level below his expectation, then you collect those checks. You know, and Zach Martin, we were talking to Baldinger about Zach Martin. If you think it's done, try to play 2 more years just to make sure, because if you leave too early, you have a lot of regrets for some of these players. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers' ego, with what we know about Aaron Rodgers, would end his career the way it played out in New York. Because 5 years from when he announces his retirement, he's going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. At some point, they're going to show highlights from New York, him carrying the flag, and then 4 plays later, leaving the field, because that was the highlight of his trip to New York.
Well, basically, look, he played better toward the end of the season. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, why would you want to go to Tennessee? You wouldn't. If you only have a year left, or 2 at the most, you're gonna want to go somewhere where you've got an opportunity to win something. And Tennessee right now is not in any position that I can see to try and win a championship. So if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't want to go to Tennessee. So that limits your base of teams that would want you or that you could play for. So that's going to be an issue too. And again, with Aaron Rodgers' reputation of being a bad locker room guy, I don't know that any team with an opportunity to win a championship is going to want to bring that dude in. And if you've got an opportunity, you probably don't need a quarterback. I just think he's done, and he needs to be done.
I think he's a bum.
Needs to be done. But will he be? Well,
it's time.
And you wonder what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. Raiders need a quarterback. When Kellen Moore officially gets the New Orleans job, which is probably going to be announced tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, then what happens with Derek Carr in New Orleans? He's got a no-trade clause, but there's already some talk about could he waive that and move on somewhere, and then what's Kellen Moore gonna have to work with down there? And again, they have no money, so and again, I look at Aaron Rodgers. He's going to go to a decent team, not a bad team. So I keep hearing Tennessee, and unless he just wants to drive to work from his house, the Titans make no sense to me. None
at all. And I'm trying to think. I mean, Pittsburgh, perhaps, if they need a quarterback. You do away with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and have Rodgers there for what? A year, two, maybe at the most? And you've got to draft one in the meantime. And so I'm just not sure Rodgers is worth the trouble anywhere because, I mean, he did play better toward the end of the year, but can he sustain a 17-game season? And that's the question. It's a big question. Look, saying Father Time is undefeated is there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Aaron, 41 years old? I mean, that's no spring chicken. You know, Tom Brady was able to do it for a little bit longer than that, but I mean, most folks aren't.
Exception to the rule when I look at Tom Brady. You know, he's got a place in New York. Giants need a quarterback, but again, bad team. And I just don't – I think Aaron Rodgers, would he play for a bad team just to play, or does he want to go somewhere where he feels like he's got a chance?
I don't think he needs the money, so I don't think that's an issue. It would be all because he still wants to play. But if you want to play, I would think at his age you'd want to play for a team that's got a chance to win. And all of the teams that need a quarterback, quite honestly, don't have much of a chance to win.
Nope.
So I don't know what's going to happen to him. But I think the Jets made the right move. Look, they're still a team in need of a quarterback. They don't have one. So, but they said adios to Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
I know Philadelphia dominated the game last night. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. The game, halftime. The commercials are,
Yeah.
Let's talk about it all. Coming up, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to talk Super Bowl. 210-651-5899 is the number to call if you're having any trouble at your house with your AC, your heater, or your plumbing issues, because that's the phone number for Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential, or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quartermoon, they do not have commissioned sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card.
One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
What's wrong, Cupid?
Lost my mojo. These arrows just don't work like they used to. The facts are people fall in love thanks to Connecticut, not poor old Cupid.
You don't say.
Oh, absolutely. Look over there. She's got silky smooth hair thanks to a Connecticut water softener. He's got softer skin and cleaner clothes, and now they're all lovey-dovey. Makes me sick.
Don't feel bad, Cupid. You still have your bow and arrow.
I know a Connecticut runs on kinetic energy like my bow and arrow. There's no computer to break. A Connecticut has it all.
For limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
You know, you're right. I love my Connecticut, too. My diaper has never looked so white. And my wings, oh, I look good.
Cupid, you can always come to work for me, but you're going to have to wear pants.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
Are you facing divorce, a child custody battle, or a complex family dispute? AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks brings unique experience to the table. As a veteran and first responder, he knows the challenges, he knows the pressure, and he knows how to fight for what's yours. The Hicks Law Firm offers flat-free representation from beginning to end and payment plans so you can get representation now. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight. They continue the rodeo road trip in Washington, D.C., taking on the Wizards. Spurs coming off consecutive last-second losses to the Hornets and the Magic. Tip-off from Washington set for 6 p.m. And Tiger Woods says he's just not ready yet. Plus, his mom just died. He was pulling out of the Genesis Invitational this week.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on this 2-1-0 day. Celebrate, San Antonio.
Howdy, howdy. 2-1-0 day. How about that?
Yeah, there's...
Happy birthday to you. We'll celebrate that as well.
Thank you.
It is Jason Minix's birthday today on 2-1-0 day.
Mm-hmm.
So happy birthday. You got any plans tonight?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
Is it a surprise?
I don't know.
Wow.
I have not heard from my wife on what we're doing. It's the day after the Super Bowl, so I don't know if we're going to get a steak or
you're going to have to go home and make them.
You know, and man, this is I'm almost at the point with doing steaks myself. Hard to go spend that kind of money at a steakhouse and think I can do a better job at the house.
Isn't that the truth?
But sometimes you just go out and you go out.
You like the service.
Yes.
I hear you.
Exactly.
Plus, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
You know, plus we've got, leftovers from yesterday's
Can't
Super Bowl
have
gathering.
leftovers for your birthday dinner.
See, that's the way
Come
you're
on.
right. So I haven't been told yet what we're doing tonight.
All right. Well,
I was asked, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. So I don't know.
Well, then Joanna has to figure that out on her own, I guess.
I know she baked a cake yesterday and some cupcakes that were phenomenal.
Yeah?
So I'm happy about that.
All right.
Yes.
So you're going to have cupcakes.
Yeah, and cake, yeah. Yep.
How sweet.
I got both. Looks like Alexandra was the first person to get things right on the deal, so she needs to call in. But is she eligible? Because she won.
She's 3 days short.
Oh, so we need to get a new winner then.
We need a new one.
All right, so we'll come up with a different contest.
Oh.
Man, 3 days. It's a great song by Pat Green, by the way.
3 days?
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah.
So now we have to come up with another way to give away the $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. So I'll think about that.
Alexandra.
And Joe will think about that.
Alexandra. At least she was paying attention.
She was.
Yeah.
I mean, far better than the guy that said John Denver. I mean, it would have been a damn miracle for John Denver to be at the concert.
Yeah, it would have been.
I mean,
it would have been.
Now,
His
Jelly
song
Roll
was
did
there.
a John Denver song, but
Yes.
John Denver was not there.
So did Rocket Mortgage, right? And that Country Road, or was it Country Road? Anyway, they did one of those oldies. I think it was. Take Me Home. Yeah, it was Rocket Mortgage, yes. And that might have been, well, one of the best commercials there was yesterday.
Were there any commercials there that really stood out?
Not really.
Which ones? Because honestly, I don't, the only one that I remember, there were some where we go, okay, that one was pretty good, but I don't remember them, except for the toilet paper commercial right before the halftime show. And I kept thinking, well, this is odd because who can go take a dump and be back in time for the show, right? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, some people can.
That fast? No.
I can't. Women can.
No, you can't go poop that fast.
Yeah.
No, you really
well,
can't.
I'm telling you.
You can't. You can't.
Well, women use toilet paper every time.
Well, true.
Poo or
they
not.
They should, yes.
So it doesn't matter.
Ooh.
You know, the one that was the creepiest was that Seal commercial.
Yes.
That thing was creepy as hell.
Seal is Seal.
It was so funny, though.
That was creepy. And I did like the one, I can't remember what it was, but the talking whale. Where the dude's sitting on the boat and he's going, this whale starts talking to him. It's kind of funny.
I also enjoyed the David Beckham one, the Other Beckham, Other David.
Yeah, but what was it promoting?
It was Stella Artois.
Oh.
See, that was the other thing. Some of those commercials, you just like, well, what is this? And you couldn't figure it out until the very end. And it's like, oh, well, I guess it was that. But some of them, they weren't as well done this time around.
Well, they were expensive.
Well, then that means more. You ought to make them well done.
What Super Bowl commercials did you like the most? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. The Ben Affleck one and the Dunkin' Donuts DraftKings one is getting a lot of run.
It was dumb. That Dunkin' Donuts commercial was awful.
I just Googled best Super Bowl commercials. That's number one. I didn't like that one. Somebody riding a donkey. I don't remember that one.
Somebody riding a donkey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know which one. He wasn't riding it. He was laying on it. The guy told him to get off his ass and come with him. That was. I think that was the one you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. I might need to go watch them again just to see. Although, generally speaking, commercials come on and I go get a beer or go grazing.
Right.
You know.
It's what I mean. It's kind of, and I'm okay with it. That's kind of what I did during the halftime show. I mean, I watched it for a minute, and then I wasn't into it. But that's just me. There was nothing wrong with it. I just wasn't into it. And some of the commercials too. They were dumb. But I thought that Ben Affleck Dunkin' Donuts commercial was just terrible. It was stupid.
Harrison Ford's Jeep ad hailed as one of the Super Bowl's best.
Really? He had a great line at the end of that. I like Jeep even though my last name is Ford.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Well, that was, yeah. I don't know.
Tariq's got a good one. You know, the flying mustaches that started flying off people's faces. And there was a dude from, and I'm going to say, I don't know if I can say this on that show, Creek.
Yeah, you can't.
S Creek?
Yes.
Yeah. His eyebrows came off, started flying around.
Now, one of the more interesting commercials. Is that what this dude's calling about, Pledge?
Maybe.
Who is it? You got to finish writing up there. I don't know who it is.
It doesn't say it on your end?
It does not. Otherwise, I would go to it. It says commercial.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Well, I'm anxious to hear this one now.
Well, you remember it because it was about boobs. And eyes up here. And
that's what we had a hard time doing on Radio Row with one of our guests.
Paige?
Maybe.
Yeah. Rudy, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? There was this commercial where obviously it's going to catch all our attention. All these women and girls were walking around, boobies, boobies, boobies.
Yep.
And, of course, you know, we're thinking, wow, what's this going to be? But it was a breast cancer awareness commercial, man. And for everybody has a woman in their life where, whoa. So it was, you're caught up in the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you had to step back and go, wow, this is a pretty serious commercial. But leading up to what it was, you know, it just showed up. Didn't show too much, but it was all about boobs, and all of a sudden it was a breast cancer awareness. So we all had to kind of come back down to earth and know who we were with at the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But certainly they knew how to get our attention. And
they did.
And they did a good job with that. I thought it was going to be, I don't know, some sort of Victoria's Secret commercial. And
you were hoping.
Yeah. Well, and again, then at the end you're like,
bummer.
Yeah.
Well, it's an important topic, no doubt. And then the Tom Brady Snoop Dogg one.
Yeah.
We're talking about hate. That was interesting. Kind of got your attention too. Right? So
I just like the timing of that one.
Yeah.
It was before the halftime show, which was just 15 minutes of hating on Drake.
Exactly.
There's definitely that. I thought the commercials were about as underwhelming as the game itself.
Yeah, well,
I mean, blowout.
Depends on how you look at it.
It was a blowout. I mean,
it was a good game. Good performance
by one team.
By one team.
That doesn't make it a good game. That makes it a dominating performance by one team,
which I appreciated seeing.
Well, you had your money on Philly.
I did.
If you put your money on Kansas City, you'd be bitching all day about how they didn't show up and Patrick Mahomes turned into Dak Prescott all of a sudden. I mean, I could already hear the comments.
That's what Patrick Mahomes looked like Dak Prescott yesterday.
Yeah.
Throwing the ball to the other team. Jeez, maybe that Prescott jinx, they've showing up in New Orleans, get bad mojo for Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that's what it was.
Well, it had to be something.
Well, I mean, Patrick played a bad game.
He did.
The Chiefs played a bad game. Philly played a great game.
They did.
But we didn't get an overall great game. The one thing that I don't think any of us wanted was a blowout, and that's what we had. Although, like we talked about last week on Radio Row, close game, Chiefs win. The only way Philadelphia was going to win is a blowout, and that's what I said last week. I didn't think we would see the Chiefs get blown out. And I look at one play. DeAndre Hopkins drop changed the game for Kansas City in my mind. He makes that catch. They pick up that first down, and if they go down and score, field goal, anything, I think we're looking at a completely different game. Defense gets a stop. Philly punts. And then Patrick throws a pick six. Next series, interception, easy touchdown, game over at halftime.
Game was going to be over anyway. Philly was clearly the better team.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have mattered what Kansas City did there. They couldn't stop Philadelphia on offense, and the defense was just too good. So I hear what you're saying, and it was a big play. It was a big drop, there's no doubt. But I can't take it that far that changed the entire game. It certainly changed the momentum at that point in time, but I just think that Philly was just the better team, and I'm not by a little bit, by a lot.
They were, although football is such a game of emotion and momentum, and it's hard to get both of those in a Super Bowl. Emotional, trying to keep everything in check, and momentum. And Tom Brady talked about that with the long commercial breaks. But Kansas City couldn't get anything going, anything to build off. Their time of possession in the first half, they barely broke a sweat offensively, and the defense, with the number of snaps, they were getting worse. That's why I think a touchdown there possibly changes everything. It certainly changes the way Philadelphia does stuff. I mean, for Andy Reid, 2 weeks to get ready, all the talk, dude got out-coached by Nick Sirianni. Patrick Mahomes looked rattled for the first time in his NFL career. I've never seen, nor have you, Patrick Mahomes look that way in a game. Even the Super Bowl they lost in Miami when he had no offensive line, he at least looked in control, and they had stuff, okay, we can't block, so let's go quick pass game. They didn't do anything yesterday to adjust to what Philadelphia's pressure was like, and Philadelphia ran 0 blitzes the entire game and got that kind of pressure.
How about trying to run the football?
Well, there's that.
That kind of slows down a pass rush. They didn't do that until their third possession. It was all passes up until then. And so, I mean, you've got two pretty decent running backs of your Kansas City, Pacheco and Hunt, and I think that they just didn't use them. And then you've got Worthy, who was a star. Now, look, the game was out of hand by that time. But, I mean, at least you try to take a shot or two to this guy. He's faster than anybody on the field. So, and they didn't do any of that. So there were a lot of things you could look at that they could have tried to do differently. But to me, it was baffling that Mahomes comes out throwing the wide receiver screens, which I hate anyway. I can't stand that play. I think it's the dumbest play in football, that wide receiver screen. It's just the dumbest play in football. And so it didn't work for them at all, and they had nothing else. Dumbest play in football, Minix, the wide receiver screen. They had to outlaw that play.
Okay.
Outlaw it. It doesn't work. I've never seen it work. But when?
It works.
Give me an example. You can't, because it doesn't. It doesn't work. It never works. Those guys are too fast out there. And you're not going to scoot by them. It just doesn't work. It's a dumb play.
Eagles, I just hope the mayor learns how to spell before their Super Bowl parade later this week. Maybe. Maybe.
She's studying.
What are you doing over there, Pledge?
He's beating up the computer screen.
Nothing like the touchscreen saying no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we won't hear the Philadelphia mayor
We will
speak.
at some point.
I don't know. I mean,
he's having issues.
I wish you guys could see what we're watching right now. Pledge is trying to touch, and the computer's saying no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pledge is used to this. You got to be gentle. You want the proper response, you've got to be gentle.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-E-S-E-S, Eagles!
Yay.
Let's go, Birds!
Uh-huh. Yeah. That was great.
Yep.
That was
Fantastic.
that was as bad as the Kansas City game plan last night. My goodness. With the big game in the rear view, football is over. It's all basketball from here on out.
How about
Spurs
that?
play tonight in Washington. Luka with his Los Angeles Laker debut. You want to make those games a little bit more exciting, make sure you download the Underdog app and play the Pick'em game. From fast breaks to buzzer beaters to block parties, It's exciting with basketball, and with Underdog, you can bring that excitement to wherever you watch. Playing on their app is easy as choosing higher or lower on player stats like threes made, points, rebounds, and more. Get those picks right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Millions of fans have won over billions on Underdog. Will you be next? Join in on the fun by signing up for Underdog today using promo code STAR, and you'll get a free pick as part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. So download the Underdog app, sign up using my promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
For decades, Rudy's has been serving Texans incredible barbecue. But they've also been a community champion as well. And now when you visit any of their 4 San Antonio locations, just make a $10 donation to the Puppy Food Bank, and you'll receive a certificate valid for $15 in free barbecue and 2 soft drinks. So do the numbers. That's a $22 value for just $10. You'll enjoy great barbecue for less, and Puppy Food Bank can save more pet lives. Thank you, Rudy's.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We have a $50 gift card to give away to Mellow Mushroom on this Mellow Monday. Tried to do it on YouTube earlier, except for the winner, Alexander, is not eligible because she's won within 30 days. Wow. So if you are eligible, we'll give it to caller 12. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 12, you are going to win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can always follow along with us on socials, at Joe Reinigle 210, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. Instagram, Twitter, same handles. And if you go to the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram page, Ryan Eagle's got a video up today talking about Patrick Mahomes and the GOAT conversation, which after last night's performance needs to go on the shelf for a while.
Well, even before that, it didn't need to be even made. Even if Kansas City wins that game yesterday, he's not even close yet. You say, okay, he's tracking, he's coming. But he's got a lot of water to cross.
He does, but the one thing about the GOAT conversation, he would have won 3 in a row, which has never happened before. But when you look at the age and the pace of where they are at this point in their careers, Patrick Mahomes is well outpacing where Tom Brady was at this age a number of years in. And I think that's why you have the comparisons. And that's what we all like to do as sports fans. We always compare. This guy to that guy, this generation to that generation. And who knows? I mean, Mahomes might go down as the greatest quarterback that's ever played the game.
It's possible, yes.
But he's got 2 Super Bowl losses. Tom Brady has 3. The fact that Mahomes, 7 years as a starter, the worst he's ever done is make the AFC Championship game. It's wild, isn't it?
That's pretty cool. Now, Mahomes has been in 5 Super Bowls.
Yep.
And Brady went to 10.
Yep.
10 Super Bowls. That's incredible. Won 7 of them, lost 3. Boy, I tell you what, it's an interesting conversation. I just think it's a little premature. Now, Patrick Mahomes may very well, when it's all said and done in his career, be the best quarterback to ever play the game. And I think a lot of people differentiate between best quarterback and best player. I tell you, and it's hard to dispute that. And the guy was running for his life last night. I mean, he was running for his life, and still trying to make some plays. And he made a couple, but it just was never enough, and he just never had the time to do anything. But this guy can do things that other quarterbacks just can't do, and so he may be the GOAT when it's all said and done. But let's pump the brakes for just a minute.
In 2025. Ryan Eagle says that's a premature conversation.
Premature conversation, yes.
2035, who knows?
We'll revisit in 2035. How about that?
Exactly. It's kind of wild when you think about it.
It really is.
Just what he has been able to do. And because of what he has been able to do, you get guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson that you feel like watching that game yesterday. It's like, how did the Bills lose to this Chiefs team? Right? I mean, now granted, Josh Allen got a first down. Who knows what would have happened, right? But still, I mean, if you're a Bills fan or a Ravens fan, you had to just be sick. Even the Texans to that degree, although I don't know that the Texans, had they beaten the Chiefs, would have beaten the Bills, because I thought the Super Bowl was going to be Detroit and Buffalo.
Yep.
And what kind of game that would have been. Because last night was just such a blowout that I haven't seen TV ratings yet, but I'm curious what the ratings are for that game. Expected to be so much higher because of the Taylor Swift aspect of things, but how many people turn that game off? I know if you're listening to this show, you probably didn't turn it off. But if you're that casual fan, I'm sure when I talk to my mom later, I'm going to hear that she didn't watch or turned it off because it wasn't a good football game. I'm curious what the casual fan was like. Again, if you're listening to Sports Talk Radio, you were all in all the way to the end and probably watched 2 hours of post-game show last night bouncing around because, we're junkies that way. but I'm curious what the casual fan did numbers-wise and what the international numbers were like. Like Will Gavin, our friend the Brit from Talk Sport, who Joe claimed as the King of England on Bourbon Street, and people actually bought it.
They did. He kind of looks like a king with the big red beard.
But I'm curious because it's middle of the night over there. So how many people stayed up to watch that game?
I don't know, but I do remember him telling me and you when we had him on the show last week that they do have Super Bowl parties and they're doing all that stuff, even though it is late at night. So I don't know. It's a Super Bowl. You get together. It's a social event. It's just not like a regular football game where you go to a bar and watch for a little while, and if it sucks, you can leave and go do something else or whatever. It's a Super Bowl. So you're still watching. I mean, even though it was 24-0 at halftime, you knew the halftime entertainment was coming up. People were curious about that. And then you had to tune in for the third quarter just to see if Patrick Mahomes, you knew they were getting the football back first. Can Mahomes score there and try to mount some sort of a comeback? I don't know. I think people stuck around for the most part.
We'll see. Numbers ultimately will tell us. And again, haven't seen any of the numbers yet. Normally, it's 5:30 now. I think we'd see something pretty quick.
We'll get them pretty soon.
The overnights. If not, we'll certainly have them by tomorrow. Lots to get into in the NBA. Ben Simmons has a new team. You heard that right. Ben Simmons has a job.
Huh.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it coming up and get you ready for Spurs at Wizards tonight here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, it was great to be back home after spending a week in New Orleans. You get home, and I took a shower in my Connecticut quality water, softened water. It was fantastic. Because we had nice Airbnb we had, but it certainly didn't have a Connecticut quality water softener. And I could tell the difference. I mean, you can tell the difference right away. You take a shower where you don't have one versus where you do have one, it makes a huge difference. Not only for your shower and cleaning your body, but your clothes, your dishes. All of that stuff is just so much better. It's amazing. And the one thing we don't think about ever is that it's protecting your pipes as well. As hard as the water is in San Antonio, it can really ruin your pipes. It can ruin your appliances, all of that stuff. But if you have a Connecticut quality water softener, that stuff is not going to happen. It's made in America. It's the most popular water softener on the market, and they've been serving San Antonio and South Texas for over 50 years. And what I love about it is you don't plug it in. You don't plug it in. It doesn't run on electricity, so there's no motherboard to go out or electrical problems that you might have. But it does provide soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now, for a limited time, if you buy a Connecticut quality water softener, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. They're also going to give you $400 if you trade in your old water softener, offering 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. It's one heck of a deal, but it is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. To do that, you pick up the phone and dial 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs back in action yesterday, taking on the Wizards. We'll talk about how they look. Houston Baylor had a big one last night in college hoops. And how do we face the world with no football on the horizon? We'll figure it out. Rob and AJ will start it at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm at the movies.
asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out, from small degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders. I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Spurs Wizards tonight. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Before we get into Spurs Wizards, a couple of NBA things. Ben Simmons got a job. Ben Simmons got a job with the Clippers.
Ben Simmons.
How?
Well, they bought
Why?
Well, who knows?
Why?
You know, I guess you're just hoping that for the remainder of the season he can stay healthy enough to help you out. Yeah, and then you got that guy.
So what, they can hang out together on street clothes on the bench?
Yeah. I don't know why teams do what they do, but, you know, Ben Simmons had all the promise in the world of being just a fantastic player and just could never stay healthy, and then wouldn't stay healthy, wouldn't even pretend. It was horrible.
I to pair those guys up, Steve Ballmer's a smart guy. That one makes no sense to me, none whatsoever. But then again, a lot of things in the NBA right now don't make sense to me, including the Luka trade. And the Lakers just tweeted out a photo 77 for everyone at tonight's game. They've got yellow 77 Luka T-shirts on every chair in that arena as he makes his debut tonight for the Lakers. And that trade still makes no sense. I am by far not a Mavs fan, but it's tough to see Luka in those T-shirts. It's going to be interesting to see what he does tonight playing for the Lakers. But Mavs fans I understand why they are beside themselves. I mean, that would have been like trading a 25-year-old Tim Duncan or, hey, you know what, Wemby? Yeah, but you're tradable.
Yeah, you're old, 25, get out of here, tradable for a bag of chips. We don't want you. Just ridiculous. I am curious, though. There's a late tip tonight, 9:30 local time tip out in Los Angeles. But I want to watch some of that game. It's on ESPN. I want to watch and see how he and LeBron interact and how they what they do and how they do. And I haven't seen if he's in the starting lineup or not. I would think he would be. But we'll see. And how many minutes does he play tonight? Does he go a full load or are they going to ease him in?
Well,
it's going to be interesting.
Hasn't played since Christmas when he got hurt.
Plus, he's got a really dirty mind. You know that?
Why?
Well, I said full load, and he starts laughing. I'm like,
I mean,
jeez, we all have the mind of a 13-year-old. All three of us.
Why am I getting it? And then the new Mavs owner with the trashing of Luka on the way out the door. I don't understand that whatsoever. The quote, if you look at the greats in the league, the people you and I grew up with, Jordan, Bird, Kobe, Shaq, they worked really hard every day with a singular focus to win. If you don't have that, it doesn't work. You shouldn't be a part of the Dallas Mavericks. What?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
What?
That's ridiculous.
I know you're trying to justify the move, but what?
There is no justification for that. And anybody that's a basketball fan, even whether you're hardcore or casual, and you saw what Luka did last year for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, literally, wrapping that team around his shoulders and carrying them to the NBA Finals. You know, I don't give a damn how much he weighs or how much he works or whatever. The man can play basketball. He's damn good at it. And to just say that and then disparage him on the way out like his work ethic is horrible. I mean, you just shut up for now. I mean, right? Just be quiet and let it go. Because you're already screwed. Your fans are pissed off. They got to be even more pissed off now. Anthony Davis is out indefinitely. I mean, so it's just let it go. Let it die.
Well, and again, I don't know who's running their PR department, but Shaq and work ethic, Kobe's work ethic, well known. Jordan and Bird,
Absolutely.
They used to party a lot,
sure.
and then go to work and just dominate,
right?
Which is kind of what Luka does.
And I got no problem with it. I mean, it'd be one thing if he was wearing out after 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and he was gassed, but he wasn't. He wasn't. He still played hard, and so I just that excuse makes no sense at all. None. And look, I hate the Lakers. I don't want to see the Lakers do anything. But I'm going to root for Luka. I hope he goes up to L.A. and just kicks butt and just has a hell of a career for however long he wears the ugly yellow of the Los Angeles Lakers.
The Spur fan in me, I feel bad for Mavericks fans, and I'm trying to the trade still doesn't make a lot of sense. With other than bridging from LeBron when he does leave to Luka. But that Laker team right now struggles defensively, and you got rid of one of the best defensive players in the league for Luka, who doesn't play defense.
No.
So from a basketball sense, anytime you can add a Luka, you do. But it'll be interesting to say, like I said, I've never been like, man, I can't wait to watch the Laker game tonight, but I can't wait to watch the Laker game tonight.
I can't wait to watch the Laker game. I really am looking forward to it. And look, I don't think with LeBron's a defensive player. He can play defense. And they've got some other players there that can make up for Luka's deficiency there. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I really don't. And how many points will the Lakers put up every night? I mean, my goodness, you're going to have to score a bunch to beat them.
Well, but you should be able to because they don't have the defense that they did a week ago. And then, of course, Anthony Davis in his Maverick debut gets hurt. He's going to be out at least a month.
That's what I mean. Look, even with the Lakers, the guy was injury-prone. So they had to deal without him quite a bit there in Los Angeles. So I'll never understand that trade. That's one of those trades that's going to go down as like, I just don't get it. There's got to be another reason. Maybe Luka pissed off the owner. Maybe he pissed off somebody else doing something else. But, remember in the playoffs last year, was it the finals where Michael Finley's taking a beer out of Luka's hand?
Yep.
I loved that. It was great. But it didn't matter. The guy drug the Mavericks, who had no business being in the finals. None, except for Luka Doncic.
I look at, if Luka wants to eat chili dogs during a timeout, let him.
I have no problem with
if he wants to have a beer after the game, give him 12. If he wants to have a smoke break during halftime, let him, because he's just that good. And you think about every team has great players, but very few have that generational type player. In the Mavericks' history, they've had two. They had Dirk and they had Luka. The Spurs very fortunate because we had David, we had Tim, and now we've got Wemby. Those generational type play, and you don't trade them away, especially at 25 years old.
No, you're just coming into the prime of your career. I mean, and he's had a hell of a career already. It makes absolutely no sense. And so that's why I think Jerry should just go ahead and trade Micah Parsons. We'll make it a double.
Here we go.
Here we go. That's a conversation for another day.
That's a great idea, Jim.
Well, it is if they get something for him. The king's ransom, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Spurs Wizards tonight. Tip off in about 15 minutes or so. Starting lineup: Paul, Fox, Vassell, Barnes, and Wemby.
Same starting lineup as has been over the last several games since Fox got here.
Spurs have had two tough losses in a 1-point win since Fox has been here. Devin's playing better basketball with the arrival of De'Aaron Fox. I don't know that I like Castle coming off the bench. And you wonder is this Pop's call or is this Mitch Johnson's call? Because as of late, and we've talked about this, Mitch Johnson at times seems over his head. When you see big leads that are getting blown like that, you've got to look at the coach. What plays are you calling? Are you taking a timeout to stop the other team's momentum? Are you drawing something up to get an easy bucket to try to change the momentum or get an easy couple of points just to see the basketball go through? The idea that they've had the kind of droughts and their lapses. I mean, it's one thing if you're not making shots on one end, but the Spurs they go into a drought offensively, and because of that, they forget how to play defense. That makes no sense to me.
Well, you're absolutely right, but this is a get-right game if there ever was one. And as heartbroken as they were to lose those two games by 1 point, especially that Miles Bridges shot that just had to rip their hearts out. But this is a game. Washington's tanking. It's obvious. Spurs are 11.5-point favorites the last time I checked.
Would you touch that?
No. But, well,
no.
Probably not.
I don't trust the Spurs.
Well,
I don't trust them.
If the Spurs struggle with Washington tonight, then we got some big problems. I mean, seriously, this team is already they're in. I mean, they're in the hay's in the barn, as Jerry would say, with this team. So the Spurs should have an easy night of it tonight. And they've got to take care of business and get a good win and then move on.
I don't know that I trust this Spurs team, even against a bad Washington team. I'd love to see them dominate, and even if they have a huge lead, keep the starters in. Keep the starters in. Let these guys continue to run plays and work together because they need it. They're 50 games into the season is where the Spurs are right now, 32 left, and they're sitting at 22 wins. Can they get to 35?
Wow.
I mean, can they get to 38? What was the over-under at the beginning of the year? I want to say it was like 38. I thought they'd be close to a 500 team this year, but they would have to go 500 the rest of the way. So with 32 games left, do you look at this Spurs team and think that they can go 500 the rest of the way? Because that probably gets them into the actual playoffs, not the play-in, but the actual playoffs. I don't know what's going on with the Clippers. I expect the Mavericks, especially now without Anthony Davis, they'll probably slide. So they're the 8 seed right now, the Mavericks. The Kings are the 9 seed. Phoenix is at 10. You got Golden State ahead of San Antonio in the standings on the outside looking in. Because right now, they're what?
3 games back of a play-in.
Of the play-in.
Yes. And what, 6.5 games from the regular playoffs. Spurs are 3-7, though. They've been 3-7 of the last 10 games over the last, month.
Yep.
That's kind of where they're playing, and it's not been good basketball. But again, De'Aaron Fox is here. Players got to get used to him. You mentioned Devin Vassell, and he is shooting better. There's no question about it with the addition of De'Aaron Fox. So that's going to help him. Hopefully that will continue. Wemby, I hope he's hot from the three-point stripe because 1 for 9 in his last game. I don't know. Am I missing something? He hasn't seemed to shoot the three well this year, at least not over the most recent stretch.
Not consistently. So the over-under on Spurs from October 21st was 36.5, and they're at 22 right now. So if you took the over, you better hope they get their stuff together in a hurry because they need to. They're running out of games. And again, they have pissed away at least 6 games that should be wins.
Oh, easy.
And you look at the last 2, maybe 8. They should be a game or 2 over 500 if they didn't have those mental lapses down the stretch and lose games that they had comfortable leads in. And when I look at leads like that teams blow consistently, I look at coaching. Now, I thought Mitch Johnson did a great job initially, but the longer he's been the interim head coach, the worse it's getting for Mitch with his decision-making.
It's hard to argue that. It really is hard, especially down the stretch with some of the things that I've seen him do. I'm going to watch this game closely tonight, though. I really am, and I want to see what he does because, again, even in Mitch Johnson, but you're heading into Washington against a team that you should dominate. You should win this game by double digits, and it shouldn't even be that close. So we'll see how the Spurs do. Do they have that killer instinct that you need to go into Washington, a team that they're clearly better than, and go in there and just kick their butt? Because that's what the Spurs need. A good butt kicking of the other team, I think, would come in handy.
And with football in the rear view now that the NFL season is over.
That's sad to hear. Very sad to hear.
Although UFL gets underway in about a month. But when you look at it, now the attention is on the NBA. Spurs have 3 games until the All-Star break.
Well, 2. They've got Washington
Yeah.
tonight and Boston on Wednesday.
So 2 more games till the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And hopefully for a lot of those guys, they take advantage of the break and rest. Although, like Wemby and Castle are going to be a part of festivities. I imagine some of the guys will just show up in an NBA city for the All-Star parties and whatnot. But hopefully they get a good break in. And you start looking at what is going to be next down this stretch run. Again, 32 games left in the regular season. I know I'm singing to the choir. I want playoffs this year. I want actual playoffs, not play-in. Take that next step and see what it's like to play playoff basketball. In year 2 for Wemby, I think that would be a giant accomplishment. The fact that they tied this year's win total or last year's win total already, but it kind of feels like they've done that and they've gone stagnant. 22 wins.
They've been stagnant.
Yeah.
Over the last month or so. I mean, it hasn't been good. But again, this will be their 4th game with Fox in the lineup. So I think they should get more comfortable with him with everybody else. And hopefully after the All-Star break, we come back and the Spurs get on a little bit of a run. I'd have to take a look at their schedule, but they got to win tonight because then you go to Boston on Wednesday, and that's certainly not going to be an easy.
No, that's a loss.
All right, so you got Boston, so you have to take care of business and maybe even rest some guys tonight. Make sure this thing's done by halfway through the third quarter, and let some guys rest and just take it easy. This should be that kind of game for the Spurs tonight. It really should be. We shouldn't even – you can go to bed fourth quarter or change the channel and do something else. Not go to bed. It's a little early for that. Get ready for that Laker game.
Are you
with
ready
Luka
for the old
Doncic.
man jokes? Did you catch yourself?
I did.
Uh-oh, I'm about to take some arrows.
Well, it's fine because I will be watching a legit part of that Laker game tonight. I want to see Luka in action playing basketball.
Yes.
See how he and LeBron are together.
It's still weird to see him in that gold.
Sucks.
Those photos.
It doesn't matter. I hate both teams, so it doesn't really matter.
Rob and AJ will have the first reaction to Luka in Laker gear and what the Spurs do in Washington tomorrow morning on the Morning Huddle starting at 6. Extra innings with Pledge coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
To the 10-yard line.